Good morning, Shut-ins.
Yo, 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 yo.
How's everyone doing today? Happy to have you guys joining us today. What's up, Nick the intern?
You keeping this open?
I can close it. We got a great show today. We're happy you guys are with us. We have Brandon Kinnie, who's going to be coming on first, and he's former. He was your former teammate, right?
Yeah.
Former Nebraska Husker, owner of Faith Jump,
Yep.
owner of Red Faith Nation. He's doing a lot of faith work these days. He's a cool dude. He came on early on. He was first couple of days of the show. He came on. So really excited to have him back on.
DK.
And we also have Andrew, and I'm going to probably butcher his last name, but I believe it's Mieure. Andrew Mieure, I think. He's the owner of Top Shelf Budtending, and he's the director of operations at Cannect, with an A at the beginning, like Cannect. So that's pretty cool. You're putting on some lotion.
What's up, Robert? What's up, Nick? What's up, Heather? Good morning, Rayanne.
Good morning, everybody. We're glad to have you guys joining us today. Maybe let's you want to kick off something contest-wise right away? Well, we got people here. We got some people here, right? And then and shout out to Heather. We know she's here. She's finally back. She's unlocked. You're unlocked. No. You're not unlocked. Sorry to bring it up. What's going on, Hako? What's going on, Hako?
Still locked up.
So Hako not only has been buying merchandise, but I don't know if you saw any of his videos that he did, where he was sort of like unveiling our merch, which was really awesome. Yeah. Which is why I feel, and by the way, the other day when I mentioned, and I knew he had bought merch and stuff, but the other day when I was like, we should make a Hako-inspired piece of merchandise, that was even before I knew that he was like unveiling. He had already done it. I didn't even realize that he had really done that. It was cool. I knew he went on a video and was like, hey, look, I got a sticker, but I hadn't actually fully watched it yet when I had said that. So now I feel even more strongly about. What's up, Miguelina? Over in YouTube. Nice to have you joining us again. Our favorite Miguelina. So yeah, today we have we have a cool show today. That I am fairly.
Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Tanya.
Tanya. So everyone keep Tanya in your thoughts. She's having some tests and stuff and whatever run, and we all just need to keep thinking positive thoughts for her so that everything
Jose, Solvian,
super
Jr.
well.
What's up, Jose? Jose? What's up, Jose?
Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Tanya. Jose.
Hey, Jose.
What's up, Jose?
Hey, Jose, what's up, man?
Do you know Jose?
I don't know Jose.
I don't know him either. Welcome, dude. Glad you're here. Y'all can like and share the stream if you want. And also, like 20% of the people that watch the show don't actually like follow or like the show, so you should go and double check that at some point later. Or don't. And we're super excited Tanya's in the audience today, and Tanya comes on Mondays. So if you're a Tanya fan, make sure you come back on Mondays.
Tanya.
And ooh, that was a stomach grumble. That was like, ooh, you're having a pill, yum.
They don't be able to hear that.
Probably.
Robert Hako said, Jose is my brother from another mother.
The tie today is a Giorgio Armani, for those of you that are keeping track. Every day, different tie.
Mike, I absolutely love your title today.
Before we get in, because we got like 10 minutes. Oh, let's do the contest first. I want to start the contest. And Miguelina, you are totally eligible for this too, so definitely play along on YouTube.
Hey, Miguelina, I like your name.
It is actually a really nice name. Like if you were gonna,
It rolls off my tongue.
and
just right.
it alliterates too the last name. It's actually really cool.
Miguelina.
Do you remember the first time we saw it and we weren't sure who it was, and we were like Miguelina, right?
Miguelina.
Miguelina. All right. Just bringing some spice to the YouTube. Yeah, let's Very interesting. So we got a big show all weekend too. Tomorrow, by the way, is our continuing series on NECAN nominees for their awards. And I suppose if I'm going to bring it up, I should probably actually say what name it is. Look at the right tab here. Oh, so actually tomorrow, Uncle Pete is coming on.
Uncle Pete.
Yeah, we love Uncle Pete. And
Eric, I'm up 5 push-ups.
he's actually up for Business Leader of the Year for NECAN, but he's also, he just messaged me, and that's why I was like looking. Uncle Pete just messaged me. Tomorrow he's going to go do some stuff. I believe, I might be misspeaking, on the main State House steps. I think he's going to go do some activism.
That's tight, JT. 5 push-ups. JT said he got 5.
Where's Sawyer up to, though?
He's at 11.
That's all right. So he's holding at 11 for a couple of days. That's okay. You got to keep trying every day. He's supposed to do one more every day. He should be up to like 12, right? Sawyer. Because Sawyer was at 11 the other day. I think he needs to be pushing one more every day.
At 11.
He went from 7 to 11 in like 3 days. And then I thought, maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably totally wrong. I don't know. All right. Yeah. So let's get back to the prize. Uncle Pete's going to come on tomorrow. We're going to find out. He's got some cool stuff going on at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Like publicly, we're going to find out all about it. Who knows? Maybe we'll try to figure something out. But normally our show goes from 10 to noon, so maybe he'll come on beforehand and tell us about it, and then y'all can go and join him or figure out how to watch him. I'm sure something will be going live from it. Let's get right to the prize. We're going to give away...
Good morning, yo.
You, if you are the winner today,
Good morning, Hustle
you'll be
Harder.
gifted infused jam. It's either keto or non-keto. It's up to you. And depending on what is currently being made or available, sometimes you got to wait a few days or a little bit. They get mailed out like once a week. You got to be 21 or older. You're going to have to show some ID. So don't play unless you're ready to like prove that you are a real person.
I am impressed that you can pronounce my name correctly. It's a hard name to say. Kudos to you guys.
Oh, well, Miguelina. It's because I grew up in in like the second largest concentration of Portuguese people in the United States.
Why do you have a broken heart?
And so...
Who broke your heart?
So I
They call me the Band-Aid.
I don't really understand too much Portuguese. Just enough. Like if you're talking smack about me in Portuguese, I can probably understand, but I can't speak back to you. But anyway, I digress. Prize today. So it's going to be infused jam, and it's amazing. It's award-winning. It's by an award-winning infused jam maker from this last year. And she's awesome, and we love Avril. And so you can, yeah, Jay, actually, I have them in my car for you. Yes, they're in the car. I have them for you. And they're both keto, because we knew, Jay. We knew you wanted keto. So today's prize is jams. Everyone, this is taxes. Everybody loves we've had lots of great prizes from lots of great people who are kind enough to like give us some stuff to give away to you guys.
I'm the one that found them in the car too, JT, so I got dibs on which one I want.
Oh, and Miguelina, Portuguese food. Anywhere else I go, it's not real Portuguese food. Everywhere else I go, it is not real Portuguese food. I don't care if it's like the hot spots in Cambridge that we all think are real Portuguese food. It's close. It's not real. I have like Azorean, like I know people who like stomp grapes in their basement and make moonshine and drink little itty bitty 4-ounce Budweisers. Who else buys 4-ounce Budweisers to drink every day? Hardcore red-blooded
Just letting y'all know I'm still
Portuguese people here in the U.S.
Facebook, which is crazy.
All right, let's get both back to the jam contest. So Brendan's our first guest today. I'm thinking, it would be cool. Let's do something with football.
I just keep getting blocked. I don't understand why I just keep getting the time. You just keep moving the time back. It says 10:35 a.m., which is in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So it'll keep saying
just
that
keep
for the
moving it
next 10
back.
minutes. Oh, well.
No, it just keeps moving it back every time. They've been doing it the last few days. It's crazy.
Yeah, when I used to go hang out with my Portuguese friends after school, their parents, their parents would give us like the little tiny
what's
beers.
up? What's his name?
Little itty bitty beers, if you want.
Larry Asante. What's up, my brother? Hey,
Okay.
you need to come. You need to hit me up, fool. You be liking all my pictures and stuff. You better hit me up.
So for today's prize, I want to choose something football centric. So whatever people have to guess, it has to be something having to do with football. And let's make it like totally random. I don't want to make it something where people can just go out and Google. Like I don't want to be like, what's Eric's high school football number, and then somebody's gonna Google it, and like one person's gonna win in like 2 minutes. Pick something, but something football. Like everyone's kind of missing football. We're gonna have one of your former teammates on today. Miguelina, we would totally. Miguelina, you are totally allowed to be on the show. We would love to have you on the show, and it would be totally fun.
Oh yeah, you just gotta to get on the show. You just gotta write a DM to my Instagram.
He just wants you to slide into his DMs.
No, I didn't say that. That's how you gotta apply. You gotta reach out to me or Mike. I prefer you to reach out to me because I'm more responsive than Mike is.
And we also have a booker, which Eric would then forward you to.
Exactly. So you come to me and I'll send you to the booker, and then they do all the extra stuff.
Mm-hmm. We make sure we get your name right and hopefully your title right.
You are on your best behavior. How did you get in Facebook jail? I don't know, Ava. I really don't. Not us. We like.
It was just sharing. He was just sharing stuff, and he was sharing the show.
Somebody
to some places.
Hustle is talking to you.
Hey, what's up? What's he saying? I can't really read it.
Yeah, I had to turn down the thing because my battery's almost
Who's
dead.
he saying is? Who's saying is ridiculous? Oh, that's Ava saying someone is ridiculous.
No, the one about not us Brazil. You know, I guess we like chinchilla.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is.
Taki. I can't.
Chinchilla, no buds here though.
So I actually, can I just say something to my Brazilian friend here? My passport has a visa that was like an 8-year visa for Brazil. I can go in and out as much as I want. It's still good for like another year. So if you're whoever you are from Brazil, figure out how to like help us bring this show to Rio, and we'll fly out for a day or two.
I think I need to log out of all my accounts.
You're gonna take a break from.
I'm gonna log out of all my Facebook accounts and then just log back in. Hopefully that'll help. Because it's not making no sense that every time I wait for the time they tell me to wait for, they just bump it back 2 days, 3 days.
Heather Marie Brown, always working for you.
Applications are open for Sugar Mama for Eric. Interested parties should send their info to Eric. Or you could just respond in the comments and I'll determine by your attitude and your profile picture. No fake
Johnny
profile.
Nugs all Portuguese liquor in theory is like strong as heck. They know.
But I am looking for Sugar Mamas because the PS5 do come out in October. They say October, November-ish. They were saying September, but obviously it's going to get pushed back because that's just what big-time companies do when they got something as nice as the PS5 come out. They set a date, get everybody excited, and they push it back. So just understand what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do there? I'm trying to find a whatchamacallit?
A Sugar Mama.
A Sugar Mama so I can get a PS5. I don't want to pay $500. I'd rather just do something strange for a piece of...
Wait, what?
Do something strange for a piece of change, you know.
I thought you were going to say something else for a second. That was weird.
Worried about what you thought I was going to say.
I have no idea. Well, you stopped in the middle. You were like, and I'm trying to think of things that begin with
Nah, just saying do something strange for a piece of change.
Although Mieure, I'm thinking about it, and if he doesn't have a visa to Brazil, so I'd have to go alone, and then we'd have to do like remote, truly remote.
Oh,
Like
here
I'd
it
be in
is.
Rio,
I
he'd
gotta
be
do
in-
something high for a PS5.
That'd be cool. Um,
Do something high for a PS5. That's funny. Y'all gotta admit that's funny. That is funny.
so let's and Brandon, I think Brandon's running a few minutes late or something, but let's start the contest for the free
Contest.
infused jam because we're making everyone wait, and I do this every single
What
time.
games do you play? I play any game that involves shooting, killing, scary, long, take forever to do. That's the kind of games that I like.
The jug of eggs got moved, so now Cushroom is no
Because the
longer
jug of
playing.
eggs look like they getting ate up by.
Yeah,
the
and that's what you
acid.
guys all wanted me to eat and whatever.
It's
Exactly.
good for your colon. That's what it does. It cleans your colon.
Yeah, good
Hustle
for your
Harder
good for
said,
your
have
colon.
a great Friday. Yay. Good luck with that sugar mama air.
Good for your colon, not for my colon.
For the last before going to clean the stalls. Hopefully we can start traveling soon, but that visa might expire before.
California.
Who got a visa?
I do. To Brazil. I can go in and out of Brazil as much as I want. For like probably for like the next year, a little over a year.
Uh-oh.
California.
That's what I'm talking about. See, look at Amanda. Talking about after heavy consideration, I like to apply. You don't have to send an application, Amanda.
You're already on that list?
You're hired. Live on the spot, you're hired.
What's up, Dean? Good morning. Dean, you're just in time for the contest, so let's get it going. So today's contest is for infused jam. And Mieure, I just need to book a flight. I don't even need to contact a booker. I can just find the cheapest flight I can. And luckily I have some peeps in Rio who still like me enough that I can go hang out with them if I want.
I got me. See, y'all tripping. Y'all don't understand. Y'all supposed to be getting y'all sugar mamas. Y'all tripping. I don't understand.
Eric can't like that enough. He's liking it multiple
Come
times.
on, why wouldn't you want a sugar mama? Especially if you're single. It's like...
Okay, so Tanya, who also enjoys infused jam. I think everyone else out there enjoys infused jam.
I think today's contest should be for Tanya.
Okay.
Honor of Tanya, because we love Tanya.
You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. No matter what, Tanya is an automatic winner of some jam today. But one other person's gonna get to win too.
We got another application.
So here's. Who? Oh, okay. So no. So this is the importance of actually, if you don't say it, then it never happens. Tanya, you're applying to be Eric's sugar mama. That's what you're applying
that's
for.
What she's talking about.
I thought she was talking about the jam.
Well.
Good morning, Avril. But Tanya deserves a jam, so we want to give her a jam no matter what. And I know Avril will agree. Tanya needs a jam, but we're gonna give away in honor of Tanya. That Tanya's hair. Somebody out there is going to be a lucky.
Avril.
He didn't even have a peanut butter cup today. The last 2 days, Avril has given us.
I don't need a peanut butter cup.
Infused peanut butter cups with peanut butter and jam inside. It's amazing.
I take caffeine
So
pills.
good.
They get me going because after 60-something days it is, y'all still ain't helping us find no money.
No breakfast sponsor. We're still.
breakfast too.
So by the way, today is show 66. It's show 66 today.
Oh, I can't wait till we get to show 69. We're gonna have a special.
So by the way, tomorrow not only are we having Uncle
Did you not
Pete
catch
on,
that?
but we're having Ashley Mantra on. She's a sex expert, a cannabis sex expert.
Oh, is she coming on
Tomorrow.
episode 60?
No, 67, unfortunately.
That's stupid.
I know, right?
You should.
But Monday is
that.
episode 69, and that's like
You
a down
should
day.
reschedule that.
Nobody likes coming out on Mondays.
You should reschedule that.
Nobody likes coming out on Mondays.
Tell you, it'll make good. We can be like episode 69 with your sex therapist. And people gonna be like, what? That's crazy. That's crazy.
That would have been. We're getting there. We finally have somebody to help us book.
I heard there was
baby
another.
steps,
There
baby
was
steps.
another number too.
What do you mean? Oh.
Yeah, I forgot what it was though.
What's the other number that's not 69 that's also a sexy number, people? Tell us in the comments. By the way, Amanda Joseph's birthday is tomorrow. So pre-happy birthday, but sorry, Amanda, we're taking tomorrow off. We just decided. No, we're just kidding. We're not taking tomorrow off. Back to the jam. To win the jam.
Tomorrow's Amanda's birthday?
To win the jam.
I'm
listen.
sorry, I'm not going to be on the show, guys, tomorrow. I got somewhere to go. I got some important things to do.
You got some sugar to...
Yes, I got
to sweeten your cereal
I got a
with.
second job. I got
Some
to
sugar to sweeten your cereal with.
I got to make sure I get this PS5. I got to have it pre-ordered. If I don't do the things to get it pre-ordered, then it's just, I'm going to be really disappointed in myself because I worked hard to earn a PS5, and I think that I should get one. So tomorrow's show will be just featuring Mike in Kush Room. The chocolate will be bought. The chocolate has been bought.
Chocolate has been leased.
Oh, but we do have another constant. Now, we can't split chocolate in half. I mean, there was another participant that said they wanted, I'm just saying.
There's a little competition.
Hey, I can be two babies. I can be two sugar.
Oh, got it. You could be sugar baby twice at a time.
I don't
There's enough
sleep a lot, so
there's
I can give 12 hours to one, 12 to the other.
There's enough of that milk dud to go around.
Exactly. You guys can treat me like a what is that called? Like child support.
Miguelina, I would recommend Instagram is probably the best way to hit up Eric, right?
Mike, how can I contact you?
Oh, me.
Yeah, what you talking
Oh,
about?
I can't see the whole thing. I couldn't. I thought it said.
Yo,
I
y'all
can't see
hear
the
Mike
left.
try to.
I was
Like, you doing it on here because you better quit. You got somebody watching. You got some,
Miguelina, however,
you got some fire eyes watching. Like, go ahead, I dare you.
however you
dare
prefer.
You, I dare you make a face. Make a face.
Make what? Face.
Make a face. I dare you to agree with that.
I don't know what you
just
said.
No, because you said, Mike, how can I kind of say, you got somebody watching, it's, make a face. Talking about somebody contact you. April, child support.
All right, back to the jam. Those of you that
New console
are so gracious enough as to stick with us.
us.
So we're giving away jam. So today,
Johnny knows. That's why I don't pay for it.
What do we need people to guess? Oh, no. So Tanya's getting jam. So here's the deal is Tanya's going to think... Tanya, you're still in the audience, right? Tanya, tell me... Pick a number between... Just pick your favorite number of all time. Pick your favorite number of all time. And don't make it 69. And then message it to me. Message it to Heather Marie Brown, actually.
What is 699? What is 6996?
Oh, I think that sounds like it's 4 people. All chilling.
All chilling. All chilling. That's funny.
All right, let's see if we can get
Y'all
this
pick
thing
a number.
going.
Mike can't handle too much sweet corn. Uh-oh. That's what Big Lena said. I can't handle too much sweet. What's up, B?
What's up, E?
How you doing?
Y'all doing well? How y'all doing, man?
Yeah, this time the camera won't shut. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't know for sure. I was like, is it Easter or is it? I was like, am I tripping right now or what? I got the clarification on the edition all again.
Well, you live, so we're gonna introduce you. So everybody, this is my good friend Brandon Kinnie. He went to the University of Nebraska with me. we both pursued football, and we both had our fair share. We had our stench of the league, and we both went off and did our thing, So this is our second time having them. The first time we didn't really go live, but this is the second time we have him, and he's gonna tell you a little bit more about the stuff he's been doing. And I've been paying attention, but he's got a really he has a voice that draws you in. You want to listen to what he got to say.
Don't hype me up, dog. Don't hype me up,
and he knows that too, and he uses it the right way. Some people, they get that kind of power and they don't know what to do with it. And Brandon figured out a way. So this is Brandon Kinnie. He's gonna tell you a little bit more about himself again.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I appreciate y'all again for having me, man. It's always a good time connecting with homeboys and hollering at them, checking in on them, and especially with I don't know if you were there, Eric, before Javario got there. Were you there when Javario got there? Okay, same. Yeah, same with me, and we clicked because basketball. So we really always, once he kind of fizzled off from playing, we would always go to the rec and hoop, and he would always blow me up like, "BK, dog, get up here, man! I'm trying to see a windmill. I'm trying to see this." So just to this stuff is meaningful. And by the way, he passed away too.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
I
that's what I was gonna go into
it.
too. Yeah, he passed away. So RIP to JB, but it's one of those things to where, man, like when you see your teammates, man, or you see your friends or close people, man, you just want to reach out to them, man, and you want to love on them from a distance. So this stuff here, man, is always good, and I've always been a firm believer on, man, like, so what, school is out, bro, and school is over and football is over. Like, these my brothers, bro. Like, when I see them, it's love, and now it's more of a notion of like wanting to reach out and just make sure that they're all right, man.
And that's exactly what I did. As soon as I heard he passed, man, I started hitting up everybody like, "Yo,
bro,
how you guys doing?"
Oh my goodness, bro. It's like, bro, I love all y'all, and I want y'all to know this, bro.
Yeah, and it's hard hearing one of us going, and I was talking to Minnow about it, and they said that he had a brain aneurysm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
That's
this was so heavy, bro.
And that just lets you know, heavy, football, man. Football is a rough sport. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're all so close, but once football is over, we all just dissipate and spread
Figuring out life.
Yeah, man. And it's crazy because we all come in like that too. It's like we all come in from different places, and then we build up a bond for 4 years.
Man, what?
Disappear from each other again, and then
once that camaraderie you can't get.
Yeah, and then once one of us, something bad happened to one of us, then that's when we all kind of come back together. And it's not, saying it like that is kind of hard to hear, but that's just life.
But it's like it get like that.
Yeah,
no, for sure. Life, you get busy with stuff. Absolutely.
People got families. People was going through hard times. People was trying to build a community, stuff like that. So, it's it's sad, but we still share the memories together and stuff. And,
absolutely.
That's what brings us back together is those memories. So.
That camaraderie, bro, and that's one thing, man. When I got out of school, man, I was chasing so hard. I was trying to figure out what way I can get around a group of just people and like love on, and we learn each other. And I couldn't, man. I was struggling.
And it's crazy. It is hard to find that. It's and that's why it's so easy. That's why it's so easy for a football player once they're done with football to go back to where they started, go back to where they came from. Go back to the hood, or if that's where they was from a hood. They'll go back to that because that's where those that's where your friends are. That's where the people you grew up with. And that's where that you might have an opportunity to, continue something. But most of the time they end up getting caught up with the wrong friends.
Yeah, the wrong stuff. Absolutely.
End up heading in the wrong direction. And so that's another thing that you learn after football, man, is how to make friends that necessarily aren't in your circle that you wouldn't have normally have in your circle. Because it's like your
networking.
Yeah, and it's like your circle is usually let me tell you, my circle was nothing but football players. I probably or athletes in general. And it's crazy once football was over and I started to, pursue other stuff, most of my friends all became normal, people who grew up, normal. And it's weird because, you listen to, their stories and it's nothing like yours. And you just sit there like, oh man, that's crazy. Like,
what?
That's
we do that. Like, but it's so eye opening though. It's so eye opening to see another's progress in life, what they've seen, what they've had to go through to get where they are. I remember vividly, man, like talking to so many people when I got out of football and it was over, and I was just talking to people like, yeah, I gotta get I'm getting a job. I'm getting this. I'm trying to do this, and all these jobs were like entry level, and I didn't understand what that meant getting into the real world. So I'm knowing different friends that have started their process early, and now they in the 50, 60 range, and I'm starting a job, and it's like 30 or 29, and I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, like I went to Nebraska, I got a scholarship, I got a degree, like, bro, I should be making $100,000, and I was so like thirsty for it, bro. I didn't understand, and so many people would tell me like, BK, like, bro, what you gonna understand in this life, man? It's like it's about networking, it's about talking with people, it's about
not what you
building
know,
that
is
network.
who you know.
Man, and I didn't understand it, man. And when it finally hit me, bro, I was like, now 10 years removed, I'm like, this is what they meant, man. This is now the platform that you built for yourself now, just by being a person, bro, and talking to people and meeting people and shaking hands and asking questions about things that you don't know. So I think it's so inspirational, and it's so like, it makes me want to scream out to all the young men, like, bro, I'm telling you, this ain't it. This is not the end. Because I felt like it was the end. Football was done. I'm like, bro, where do I go?
Because that's your group of guys. That's your group of guys. That was your clique. Yes. That was who you was.
Oh my goodness.
That's when you felt most comfortable. But then now you back uncomfortable again after all those years of being comfortable. And so now you back uncomfortable, and you like, yo, what do I do? Like, how do I approach it? And so now you got to learn how to adjust to your environment. And that's another hard thing, learning how to speak proper to people.
Oh my goodness.
Not trying to use that football slang, because they look at you like, yo, what are you talking about? And you like, bro, like, this is who I am. And you like, yo, then you start to realize I can't be that way in public.
They're hard to say, yeah.
Yes, I gotta flip a switch again now.
Gotta do some. And it was all that, like, building resumes and doing these other things. Like, bro, when I got with Zenith, me and a good friend of mine we went to junior college together in Fort Scott. We went out to a seminar out in California, in San Diego. And this seminar was put on by the NFL. And it was a seminar where guys that have just gotten out of the league get to come and it was like a business fair, and it was a job fair, and it was just different jobs. There's strikers, Zenith, different jobs, and then these guys that just got out were just walking around with resumes, and they were just like having interviews and talking with us and stuff like that. And bro, I taught, like, some of these guys were like 1 year removed, 2 years removed, bro, and like they didn't understand any of it, bro. Like, they didn't know where to turn. They talked to me about this thing, like these things, and were vulnerable with me about, like, dude, I didn't know how to write a resume. I didn't know how to do any of these things, man. But like, all I knew was like, this came up, and I was like, I got to book the ticket to get out here so I could, figure it out. Exactly. But like, bro, that's so heavy to just think about, bro, because like you said, bro, we get there and we are so spoiled for 4 years, bro. Like, we got 4 years.
Everything is done for us.
Dog, I tell people this story all the time. I said, dog, when you come out the landing, obviously you got the drinking faucets, but I remember, bro, when I was coming from my junior college visit, and I seen the landing, and all that stuff already shook me anyway. But when I went to the landing, I seen like the Gatorade dispensers. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then when I seen water and cold water, I'm like, oh, I made it, dog. I really did make it. I can choose from regular water and cold water. Like, oh yeah, I'm that dude. But it's like,
hey, the little things like
bro,
that, though.
You were spoiled, bro. You were so spoiled, and it's like, when you're done, football spits you out, and it's like, bro, where do I go? Like, I'm broke. I don't know how to write a resume. What job do I start? I think this job should be paying me more than what I'm paying. I'm more deserving of this. And you're just constantly playing this battle in your head, bro. Like, of what do I do? How do I do? You know what I'm saying? So it's so heavy, man, when you really think about that. And I was chasing it so long, bro. I even applied with the Lincoln PD. I was just trying to find
Oh yeah,
something,
yeah.
bro, to be a part of, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a battle, bro, and struggle, bro. But I mean, it's like, for me, it's like, now I can look back and see where the Lord was with me in every situation. He was like, okay, I want you to go through this. So stay right here, deal with this for a minute. Okay, now here's the next step. I want you to go through this, figure this out, to where I am now. And I'm like, I see, I got what you was doing. Okay, this is what you was building me for this. You was building me for, okay, got it. And it gives you that much reassurance in my purpose, in my walk, what I'm doing, because stuff like this, bro, like I want to inform people. I want people to know, I want people to understand, and I want to let them know, like, you ain't the only one going through, or you didn't go through it, to be relatable so they can understand that. You know what I'm saying? And it's
the first time I realized I was in the like real corporate world, bro. I worked for Verizon for a little bit. So
oh wow, really? Okay.
So I'm like, this is cool. This is, I'm going through the process. And one thing that I compared it to working for Verizon was like working for the Patriots, honestly. And it was crazy because, I'm going through the training. I had to go through a month of training, sitting at the computer, learning all how to, basically sell cell phones to people. So when we finally got out there and put on the floor to like, test our work and stuff, it was, it was easy. It was easy. I'm like, okay, this is nothing. I'm getting comfortable now. I'm starting to, slang phones. I'm good. So the first time I realized this is a corporation was, so I started getting a little big-headed. I'm selling the most phones out of the group that I'm in with. So I'm getting a little big-headed, like, I'm good. So I come in, and we all working at the computers, and they called me to the main office, and I'm like, oh shoot. They like, yeah, we need to see you real quick, Eric. And I'm like, damn, what I do? Like, I'm selling, I'm the best seller. I dress up every day with a suit, I'm good. Like, I don't be doing nothing wrong. They set me down, and he was like, hey, like, I see you doing a great job and everything, but he was like, hey, we need you to cut your beard. And I'm like, huh? And he was like, yeah, your beard is it's a little scruffy. We need you to cut that way lower. And immediately in my head, I'm like,
nothing, bro.
Immediately in my head, like some football stuff clicked. Like, hold on, like I don't. What? And I'm sitting there like I'm really trying to process it. I'm looking at him in his face, and he looking at me, and I'm like really like trying to see if he's serious or not. And he's like, yeah, you need to cut the sides. You need to make them. And he's like, the front is a little too long too. And he was like the part that hang, he was like, it's a little long. We need you to cut that too. And I'm like, you serious? He's like, yeah, 100% serious. And I'm like, okay. And then so the next day I cut it. I'm good. I'm like, all right, is this good? He walk in, he's like, yeah, that's good. He's like, all right, now we need you to get rid of the earrings. I'm like, okay. All right, I get it. The earrings, I completely understand. Not gonna fight it. Bam, cut the earrings off. So then the next day I come in, bro. I wore a red bow tie. And I had just a regular suit on. I wore a red bow tie, and he was like, yeah, we don't do bow ties here. And then immediately I'm like, oh yeah, this is getting crazy. Just literally, I'm killing it, bro. I'm telling you, I was killing it. I'm on my high horse, and then day after day, they was just hitting me with all types of like different stuff, like bro, just being picky. And then so one time I'm on break, bro, pull the phone out. They like, hey, if you gonna use your phone, you gotta be outside. I'm like, bro, I'm on break. Like, they was like, yeah, you gotta be outside. I'm like, bro, it's 100 degrees outside, and I'm in a suit. Like, what you want me to do? All right, like you win. All right, you win, bro. You win. I went and sat in the car and turned on the AC and just sat there like, yo, these dudes is killing me. I hate this.
Hey, it what's so crazy is that like I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, well, we're different and we were football players, but you get wired a certain way, bro, and you're wired from, in a sense, like the harder you work, on and off the field, like the coaches will see it, you earn your playing time, you become a starter, you do your thing. Okay, cool. Well, bro, that's the same attitude you took going into the real world is the same one I took. But bro, the same thing. It's like, but once you get there, bro, depending on who your boss is or what type of foundation they have, bro, you can take a spin, bro, and be like all out of sorts because, bro, you don't understand. Like the football on the resume has gotten you the job, like in a sense, like that's
exactly. They got you to the front door,
you know
but
what I
it's
mean?
like what you
like,
gonna do?
Okay, cool, got it. Okay, you get in there and attack it, and then it's like, he's really good. Okay, then it's like, well, okay, you got to do this or change this. And bro, every job that I went and I worked in, bro,
they try to psychologically change you
every single time, bro. And it's like that. It's like, woo, we got a football player, but it's like, but sit down now. You ain't gonna do nothing crazy.
Exactly. Like you're not gonna take over the company.
It's dope to have you here, though. You know what I'm saying? And I would feel that, bro, because you know me, bro. I'm so outspoken. I'm so loud. I'm so funny. So every place I would go, I would be tearing it up.
Exactly.
Like, hey, we need you to do this.
They don't like that.
Or no, you ain't gonna do this, or we can't.
When they feel like you cool with everybody and you getting up there and you doing what they want, they try to bring you back down.
They said, nah, we can't do it because that's the thing. Like they think like, okay, he's just a football player. It's cool to have. But then when they say, okay, he's a football player, he's funny, he's easy to talk to, he's not just weird, cocky, weirdo cat. Then it's like, oh, this is another level now. Now he done got into this field and figured it out. You a dangerous cat, bro. You dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And I'm being real, bro, because they don't see that, bro. And bro, I remember vividly, bro. I worked at Nike here, bro. At the Gretna Outlet Malls, I worked at Nike, and this was when I first got into working and things like that. And I got there, no expectations really. I just needed a job. I was working 3 jobs at the time, trying to just figure it out. So that's when I figured out that I loved customer service and I love being around people. So I just was doing my thing, coming to work, killing it. I started gaining more hours, and I was just doing my thing. So then it comes to like where I was part-time under. So part-time under, you only got a certain amount of hours and you didn't have benefits. Now between the 3 jobs, I didn't have benefits at all. Now we talking about a grown man, bro, 2 kids, 25, 26 years old, no benefits.
Damn.
So I'm like, well, I got to figure something out. So there was an opening for a job. It was an opening in Nike for a part-time over position, which gave you 40 hours. No, I'm sorry, it was full-time. It gave you 40 hours and it gave you benefits. And then it was another position that was part-time over that just gave you more money and more hours, but no benefits. So when the position opened up, everybody was like, BK, you gonna go for it? I'm like, heck yeah, bro, I'm getting to it. So at the time, it was a young cat there working there. I think he was 19 or 20, and he had been there for a year. But I mean, and I love my dog. Like he's a good guy too. I still ride with him. But like when I got there, I overexceeded it all.
Of course.
So once we got into you know what I'm saying. So once we got into the interview process, I'm killing it. I'm thinking everything good. I'm thinking in my mind like I've earned this. Like I've done everything that they asked me to do. I've done it at a next level. All of it, bro. And they know my situation. They know I got kids. They know I don't have benefits. They know I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I know they gonna show love. Man, when I tell you, bro, that the next, like when they gave out the positions, none of the managers came and ride with me, bro. Nobody said, hey, this is how we gonna do it. This is how we gonna move accordingly. Nothing, bro. I come into the workplace, man. I got folks coming up to me telling me like, hey, man, such and such got the part-time over position or the full-time position. And I'm like, really? So then finally, one of the lower managers I rap with, I'm like, bro, like, what happened? And now none of the top guys, the store assistant manager, talked to me about it. But they like, yeah, man, that we just went with we went in a different direction, bro. And I was so messed up by it, bro, because I'm saying to myself, like, y'all know my situation, y'all know how I'm living, like, y'all know what's going on with me, and y'all gonna tell me like a 19-year-old kid is like, you know, part-time over is perfect for them. Like, that's a couple more dollars, that's good. But you talking to a 25-year-old grown man with 2 kids that has no benefits, bro. I had no benefits, bro, none. And you telling me like that's what you can do for me, bro? And like I'm not meaning to toot my own horn, but like I went in there and I murdered it, bro.
No, but that's
no games, bro.
And that's the crazy part. Like the corporate world, they don't like guys like us who come in and, you know, can like control a room, who can like take over a room, because the person that's at that position, they know like, dang, my job is in danger because this dude knows how to run a team.
Yes, heck
Like he
yeah,
knows how to run a team. And like, so my job, so they don't want to hire that type of, you know, person, especially if you look good, dressing good, you know, that type of stuff. But those sales, and that's why you see a lot of football players go into like car salesmen and those positions where you're individual, where you working for yourself and you making your money how you make it, and you're not actually in competition with you. I mean, you're in competition with somebody, but you're not in competition with a manager. You're not like there to like replace him, you know. And that's what I learned, you know, being in the cell phone industry. The cell phone industry, they want you there. Like Verizon, they want you there, but then Verizon also has a partner company that sells phones for them. That's where I was. I was in a partner company. I wasn't at the actual Verizon. Those stores have like, you know, employees and managers. Their main seller, of the person who mainly sells their phone, is called cellular sales. They're like an individual sellers, so it's like a bunch of individual guys who just sell the phones, but they don't actually level up. They just don't have a cap to how much they can sell. So you can make, say you can make $20,000 in a month, but you're not going to be like a manager, and then you're just going to stay at that position.
Exactly.
You're just going to be making that much money.
Yep.
You know,
which is fine.
Yeah.
Cool with that there too.
Companies like that, they don't care about people like us, because we can come in, and if we can gravitate and pull people in and make money, that's what they want. They want us to make them look good. You're not getting into a manager position. But a company that has a manager and you come in and be that way on your first day, they like, hold on, this dude coming in to take over some stuff.
Man, like,
my job is in jeopardy at that point. We can't hire him. Nah, like he can go somewhere else and take over.
You genuinely just doing it too. It ain't even like nothing. But what I've learned, bro, is like influence equals like leadership, bro. Like that's what it is. And people with influence, it doesn't, like I hear so many athletes say it, and I swear I get it, bro. I do get it, but it's like, yeah, I don't want to be a role model. I don't want to, and it's like, bro, when you have that influence, bro, that's what
it comes natural, bro. Like if you like sometimes, bro, I don't even want to be a role model, and it comes to me, and I embrace it. I'm like, yo, this is who I am now, and I have to be this way. I can't be an asshole to a little kid that's like, yo, you want to play football or something? You know, I can't be that way, and I won't be that way, because I know where that kid is at right now. I've been there to where I seen a football player, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like like I remember in high school going to the U.S. So Tyron Smith, he went to USC. He was a year before me, the left tackle for Dallas. He went to my high school. So when he was at USC, he sent our school tickets. Like USC will hook our whole school up with anybody that was getting recruited by him. There, you know, they like, yo, Tyron, give them some tickets so they can come. So we'd go to the USC games and be on the sideline. I'm telling you, I done seen what was them linebackers? The 3 linebackers USC had them.
Brian Cushion, bad boys. I can't remember.
Yeah, Brian Cushion.
One of them played for Cincinnati. Was it a Samoan cat?
Yeah, the Samoan cat was the middle linebacker. They had Brian Cushion at the outside, and they had the other dude who was super good. So those was the 3 linebackers that we was going to watch in high school.
Yeah, it's a linebacker. Yeah,
and I was a linebacker, so I'm sitting on the sideline like, I can't believe I'm here. So I could understand where them little kids be at, and even though, you know, I wasn't like a superstar, I'm still a football player. So whatever team I played on, they gonna think that I'm close to whoever was that superstar. So, you know, every kid that meets me, they're like, oh my God, you played with Tom Brady. Yep, I did. They're like, oh, and they basically see you as Tom Brady kind of, like, or a connection to him. Yeah. You know, so you get to see that excitement in them. And it's like, yo, how could you be mean to that? You know, how could you deny, you know, playing with a kid for an hour for them to have that type of fun, you know? And even if you in a bad mood, like it's times I done been in terrible moods, and a little kid walk up like, oh my God, you play for the Patriots? And I'm like, yeah, I did, you know? Because, you know, even though it's hard, you like, yo, I'm just not in the mood, but You're right. I did,
Yeah.
man. It was fun. So
Mm.
that's the kind. But that kind of stuff, man. It changes you though. Like over time, it makes you more appreciative, especially when you're done. It makes you way more appreciative of what you did. Because when you're in it and you're playing it, like me seeing Tom Brady in the locker room during the time of me seeing Tom Brady in the locker room, I wasn't thinking nothing of it. I'm like, yo, I'm just getting ready for this game.
Real.
You know, I'm not sitting here listening to him going, yeah, let's go, God. Like I hear it and I see it. I'm like, that's tight, but it's not really filtering in until now I'm sitting in this chair talking about it. And I'm like, damn, I was really in the locker room and this dude was screaming, let's fucking go. and saying some crazy stuff that nobody else will ever get to hear in their lifetime, you know. And now that I sit here and I talk about it, bro, I'm 10 times more appreciative of it than, and so that's why I'm happy to like talk to kids or talk to even adults who, you know, are 30 years older than me and they look at me as if I did more to them in the 30 years that they've been there. You know, so been here.
You were always like that, bro. You were always like that, bro. I remember vividly, bro, like if you just having a huge heart, bro, and always wanting to help and always wanting to do something for somebody, or always saying, BK, man, come over here and talk to them, man. Like they huge football fans. I'm like, yeah, man, for sure. Because I remember vividly, bro, like folks like when we used to get through with them games, bro, like folks really like sneaking out the back or the side door to like going about their, and some of these cats, I ain't gonna name them, but some of these cats ain't really playing for real. I'm like, what are you sneaking out?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I'm about to go sit up. Like my mama, my son, all of them will be up here. Like, y'all gotta wait. Y'all waiting, bro, because I'm gonna come out here.
Exactly, and that's what I used to hate seeing that. You know, I'd be sitting there signing autographs and kids like, yo, where's such and such? Where's, you know, I don't want to say no names, but they'd be like, yo, where's such and such? Where's such and such? And you'd be like, I mean, he probably in the back still getting dressed. I can't wait. And I literally be sitting there signing autographs for an hour. I'm talking about the street lights is coming on. The game is over. The street lights is coming on. And we still got to get ready for a party. And I'm still outside signing autographs because I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to make the Husker.
Trying to get ready.
Yeah, I'm trying to make the Husker fan happy. And then you see, you know, the good players that really have more fans than you. You see them leaving, sneaking around the back, and you like, bro, like why? Just take the time. You know, this is gonna be over in at least 4 years. It's gonna be over in 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, or next year. One of the two. And so like you never gonna have this again. So why not?
Never gonna have it.
You don't want nobody to ever send you a message like, yo, I remember 20 years ago you didn't want to sign my autograph.
Yeah.
Like what?
It's crazy, bro.
I don't want no kid to ever walk up to me and say that and be like, bro, 20 years ago I tried to get an autograph. He an adult now. He like, yo, 20 years ago I tried to get an autograph and you denied me. But I don't never want to hear that from nobody, bro. I stopped and gave any and everybody an autograph. And I know my autograph ain't worth nothing. It's a little kid. Still. And it's a little kid in the comments. It's crazy. His name is Sawyer. And he went on eBay and bought my college card for like $5.
Wow.
Yeah, for like $5, and then had me sign it for him and stuff. And I was sitting there thinking like, wow, like my card is still selling on eBay. That's crazy. And I'll sit there thinking like, yo, you need to go tell him, don't be having him charge you for that. You should have told him like, yo, you should have had me hit him up and be like, yo, send me that card. That's my card anyway.
Man, that's so crazy. It's so funny we talking about that too, because like, bro, I just had like this had to be maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, bro. I played in this flag football league with PJ. Like maybe this had to be like 8 years ago, bro. Maybe 7, 8 years ago. I played in this flag football league, and I remember stuff. It's like spotty, but I remember stuff here and there. So I showed up to like maybe 2 games. I remember 2 or 3 games playing. And this guy hit me on Facebook, bro, when I first got back on. And he wasn't a friend or anything, but he just was in like it was a certain request you had to go look at in Facebook. So I go and look, and he's like, hey, BK, hope all's well. See you're doing well, such and such. But remember you played on a flag football team a couple years ago, and we had fees, and it was like $40 or $20. I wanted to see if you want to settle up on that. And I was looking at the phone, bro, for like 20 minutes, and a part of me was like upset and mad, like, bro, you really? But then I thought to myself, like, well, bro, if he's doing this much to get like in touch with me, and like obviously something happened, like, and maybe it's something I could have said I don't remember. I'm like, cool, bro. I shot him $50. Like, yeah, bro. He's like, dude, awesome. Like, thank him. Like, it's all good, bro.
My man hit you for $20?
Man, he told me about the 20. I sent him 50 with the interest. I said, here, bro. It's all good, man. God bless you, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro, I did the sound and looked at the phone like,
oh, I didn't know what to do. I was so mad. I'm like,
really? But I already know what you're talking. That feeling to just zoom, like, you know this man, like, bro, just come to my face and do it, like,
just come to my face and give me cool, bro. Like, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't about to trip, but it's just that, bro. It's like. But it's just wanting to make sure, bro, you always did people right, bro.
And like, it's crazy because people always remember football players, bro, out of every type of human, bro. Basketball players, soccer, bro, I don't care what you say. They don't look at our faces when we playing.
Yes.
So when they see us without our helmets, they really soak in what we look like. And they don't forget. And I'm telling you, people will always remember a football player doing something to them. No matter what it is, did them wrong, right, you know, said something wrong or right, they will always remember that, and they will send you a message years down the line like, yo, don't think I ever forgot about that.
Real.
You know, what you did for me, you know, stuff like that. So, talk a little bit more about your faith jump.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yes, man. So
your website, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm definitely gonna buy some merch to rock.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's whenever, bro. It ain't no rush. It ain't going nowhere, man. But yeah, man, it's www.face/jump.com, and it was something, bro. That I just, it's nothing else to explain, but it was just the Lord, bro. It just wasn't me, bro, at all. Like coming up with something like that, and it was a time where. I was feeling conflicted of going into ministry, and I felt him on my heart, but I just didn't know if it was the right decision. I just was like, I don't know. You sure? Like me? Like, God, you want me to do this for you? Like, I just was so in between. And one day, man, I just got these words, bro. Like the Holy Spirit gave me like faith jump.
Wait, you said it was face/jump.com?
No, is it? Did I say slash? What's the is it hyphen?
Dash.
Did I say Did I say slash or dash?
Is it sideways or across?
This one, dash.
That one, okay, it's the dash.
Okay, my fault.
Hey, bro, you ain't got to explain
all. Okay, dash, my fault. Oh man, but
yeah, we trying to look for it right now so we can pin it in the comments and stuff so people can go to
www.faith-jump.com.
Faith-jump.com. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
Yep. So the Holy Spirit, bro, just continued to just impress on my heart, bro, and like tell me like faith jump, and I didn't understand what it was. And then my mom sent me a picture. It was January 3rd, bro, this year. She sent me a picture of a guy jumping from a cliff to another cliff over the sun. And the one cliff was 2019 and the other one was 2020. And I was like, that's faith jump. I was like, that's faith jump. And I thought to myself, well, maybe the faith can be on one rock and then the jump can be on the other rock. And I was just playing with ideas. And I'm like, so I gave it to our creative designer at my church, man, and she did some things and came up with this logo, and I was like, oh my goodness, like that's awesome. Mm-hmm. And like for me, bro, it was like validation and reassurance of God being like, Brandon, yes, I want you to do it, and yes, I want you to take a faith jump because you don't believe that you can do this, but I'm telling you that I've chosen you to do this work. And bro, it's been great, bro. It's been great to see it grow. It's been great to get the feedback. It's been great to see people ask questions about it. It's been great to just see people felt like the Lord gave them a sign when they seen faith jump. So It's growing, bro. It's an awesome brand, and it's all from the Lord, bro. And that's what I want to represent. That's what I want to spread, bro. Is the gospel and understanding, bro. Like this is the only way, bro. Like we're gonna ever figure it out, bro. Like all this stuff is this sad stuff that's going on in our world, and it's so heartbreaking and everything else. But it's like Jesus is the only way that's gonna heal it, bro. Like because we cannot do this life by ourselves. It's not about a black. It's not about a white. It's about uniting, bro. Unity, bro. Under Him, and it's just so heartbreaking to see this stuff, bro. It really is because I just hate the conversations of it all. Like, oh yeah, my white friend or my this and it's like, bro, I don't see all. It's just we together, bro, and I don't understand anything else.
We all human.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all human, bro. Like we all human, bro. We're not the judge. So, yeah, man, it's been great, bro. It's been great. I'm thinking about some different ideas to kind of further the journey because right now I'm going through a third party. So my third party is they print, they offer the product, they print and they ship it out. So it's not bad. I don't have my hands in it as much as I would like. So all I'm doing is promoting. But I wish I had it more so of a stint of where like I had stuff on hand and I can just like send it out next day. So now I'm at their discretion, but it's a process, bro. And I'm learning it. Eventually I want to have a storefront.
It's business, bro. Like we all learn, bro. Bro, I'm telling you, I done learned so much in the last year, 2 years. Just about how to forward myself, like how to build my brand. I mostly learned it from this dude. I'm not real good.
Gems on you.
I'm not real good, bro. I'm not real good at branding myself. Besides, just being who I am, which is just laughing and being in front of people and showing them my personality in person. All the stuff online and all that good stuff. I'm not real good at, and just the business savvy of it, of learning how to. Open a business, how to, network with people to have them help you with, certain parts. I can't do none of that stuff. But him, hey, let me tell you, this dude do it all, bro. And he'll be able to help you push yours too.
For sure. And look, and this is what you see, bro. Like, this is the reassurance, bro, that you can stand on is that, like, bro, Mike was placed in your life for a reason, bro. Like, this relationship that has been built, like, now what you've learned from him, like, this has been placed for a reason. God already seen this and said, okay, Eric, after you're done with football, I'm gonna run you into this guy, and I want y'all to grow this thing.
After the messed up relationship stuff, after I put you to hell with
yes. But it's that though.
He's like, let me break you down first and then build you back up. I know, I understand hey, look, let me tell you, I know every road got some potholes in it, but let me tell you, that pothole's a little too big for these wheels, bro. I need a pit stop and change some tires.
Hey, hold on, man, I gotta figure this out. Let me figure it out. Man. Hey, look, we only know what we know, bro. We know what we know, bro.
Man.
Like, we need other like that's why this life is called to do it with other people, do it together. Because, bro, like a lot of the stuff now, a lot of stuff I know now, bro, I wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have went off to college, if I wouldn't have been mentored, if certain friends wouldn't have poured into my life, bro. Like I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have this knowledge. And if I wasn't receptive of it, in a sense of like, I got it. I don't need nobody. Then I'm just gonna be in a place by myself, bro. Like where I alienate myself away from everybody because of what I'm feeling or what I'm hurting or I don't need nobody.
That's exactly what I did.
You know that's a lie, bro, from the enemy, bro. You a lie if you walking around talking about you can do it all by yourself. It's a lie. Yeah, absolute lie. It's not we were not designed to do it by ourselves
at all.
We weren't, bro. Like it's not in that manner. It doesn't say that anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So. It's all of that, and it's the same as far as it going like in marriage too. Like, bro, I never thought I'd be married, have my kids under the same roof.
Hey,
bro, I was living
believe me,
life.
I never thought neither, my brother.
Like, you feel like, hey, do you hear me, bro? Like, like I'm literally sitting up here like thinking to myself, like, I don't wife. Like, I'm like. This young cat that had kids early by 2 different women, and I married obviously my wife that I had my second son with. But I'm like, bro, but again, bro, like I said earlier, it's it's the journey God put you through for you to look back on your testimony and say like, bro, I see where you was at. I see. Okay, I got it. And it's me standing on those promises of saying like, yeah, I'm walking around telling folks like, yeah, I ain't about no women. I ain't about married. I'm about my kids. I'm just lying. I'm lying all through my teeth, bro. Lying. And he's just sitting up here looking at me like, you just do not know I got a wife waiting on you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, those are the things I look back on and I'm like, yeah, dude, like, I got you, God. I got it. I figured it out. I got it. For real, man.
It was good to talk to you, man. Seriously, man. Man, every time we talk, bro, it's literally, you know, we can go on and on and on forever.
I already know it, man.
I
hate to get us in person. It's gonna be over, bro. Like we ain't gonna leave each other. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like,
real shit, we gonna be lying, bro. I'm telling you, and I'm trying to get ready to plan a trip. Like we all trying to plan a trip to Nebraska. We want to rent we trying to get an RV though. So we can do it right, man. You know, look at he don't know about Nebraska when you not in the stands. When you not on the field, it's a whole different game, bro. It's a whole game outside of the football game, bro. They shut down the whole city. The city is full of RVs on every corner. The buses usually look. The players are spoiled now. Like we was going through it when we was there. They was building up to what they got now when we was when we first got there. Remember when we used to do our study hall, bro? When everything was getting construction.
Yes, bro.
Come on, bro.
That little office space we had.
Bro, we was going through it. And then they slowly start to just build it. And as soon as we left, everything became good. But then the team went down.
Bro, and I was mad.
It's like
they got all these apparel. They got the gloves with the end.
Come on, bro. We ain't had nothing. Bro, we had the mismatched gloves. Hey, Jay Terry, stingy. Hey, look, let me tell you, bro. Our equipment manager, bro, his kids had more gear than us. The football players, the ones wearing the gear. His kid come running through the locker room with the new gloves. We like,
hey, Jay Terry rock with me, bro. I ain't gonna say that about Jay Terry. Jay Terry rock with me, bro. So
yeah, Jay Terry was on his side. Let me tell you, Jay Terry hooked him up. Jay Terry had his select few of friends, and let me tell you, I wouldn't want to. Hey, if I could have no helmet, no pads, and no shoes before the game, Jay Terry would have did it, bro. Jay Terry rock with me. Hey, but yeah, man, we had some characters in our locker room, and but the players now, man, they so spoiled and they get everything they want. They got the nice weight room, they got the nice office buildings, and they need to take some of that stuff away and make them grind for it, man. That's the only way we're gonna come back.
I think more so it was in Riley's era with that. I really think Scott is doing a good job, and I think he's doing a good job.
Yeah. Scott's gonna change
what I mean? Like,
yeah, when his recruits become seniors, oh yeah, it's over.
Yeah, there's gonna be some good stuff happening there, and I believe in him. I believe there's gonna be a change, and obviously it's an alma mater and a lot of things that you see differently and things, but you want the best. You know what I mean?
Always. I mean, I cheer for him, win or lose, but it's hard to watch.
Sure.
I'm not, especially the only games that I don't watch when we lose is Iowa. I can't stand it. I can't take it.
Heavy.
Losing to Ohio State and Wisconsin, understandable. Losing to Iowa is inexcusable.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Like, Ohio State, I'm good with that. But Iowa, bro, them is right across the way. They be talking mad crap.
You got to see us.
But yeah, man, it was good to have you, man. I'm glad you was able to come out with us, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Seriously.
Yeah, y'all too, man. Let me know if y'all ever need me again, bro. Whenever, man. Let me know. I'm here, brother.
People love you in the comments, man. I'm telling you, we might have to get you your own show on here for real.
Oh man.
Yeah, sir.
Hey, look, I'm whatever y'all want from me, man.
If you serious, we are too. Now don't bullshit. We have you on here we on here every day, bro, for like 60 days. Bro, 60 days straight, bro. I've been waking up.
This is show 66.
Bro, Every day, bro. We have not. We only took 2 days
days
off.
2 days, and one was technical stuff, and the other
Since
one.
talking to you, bro, we took 2 days off, bro. And these is 2-hour shows, bro.
That's great. And y'all just do it. Y'all do it in the morning, and then y'all chill for the rest of the day, and then do it the next morning.
We get off of here, go smoke, fall asleep.
Yo, Brandon, you don't even realize that now there's like a small team of people that are helping out. We have somebody that's doing all of our booking. Her
Yeah, the lady that you talked to.
That's what she.
Yeah, remember when we was booking you, I hit you up. Now she hitting you up because we got somebody helping.
Wow. That's dope, bro. That's super
we
dope,
have an intern that's like doing all kinds of stuff for us. We do giveaways every single day on here, so
just building a small football team, brother.
Really?
Just building a small football team.
And if y'all ever need to, and I can send like a shirt or something, bro. If y'all ever wanted to do like a giveaway and a fake jump shirt too, I can do that too, bro.
I'll wear your shirt on.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We would love to. And and also, the other thing too is we've been using this to help to give people, like, let people use the platform that we're building to have their own voice. So like we actually have like 6 or 7 people that come on with their own guests, so they can have their own conversations every single week.
Once a week they come on, they have their own, because this show reaches a lot of people too. So if you come on here, we don't have nobody like you, bro, on here in terms of like that's into like the faith side of that's in a faith. We got a lot of people from different industries, and
for sure
we don't really have nobody like you on here. And people love to listen to you talk, and they love to listen to us interact. So
and also just honestly, and for me to put it bluntly, like black dudes being able to have black conversations with other dudes, especially black dudes, and we know that a lot of the conversations and issues that black dudes go through, people don't vocalize those conversations, right? Like, so if a black dude's depressed, like that's the last person that anyone ever thinks about when it comes to like depression, right? And so there's all kinds of issues that like it'd be great to, because I'm Eric's a football dude. I'm like the white dude sitting here. Like we try to bring on lots of people, but like it's not always easy to have the real important conversations. You know what I'm saying?
Real.
And people do come and watch us because they want to break from like a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. But we still try to have like those pockets of like solid, important conversations, and people can come every day. They can watch, and if once a week there's something going on, it's a little too serious for them, that's okay. They can come back the next day and it's back to normal, but we still have those opportunities and those pockets of like we're trying to have really important conversations, stuff with like health, stuff with like teaching people how to grow. And even if it's cannabis or otherwise, just the idea of being able to grow your own food right now, right? And we have a vet that he's going to be coming on every Friday to have conversations about with vets and stuff. We've got
a nurse.
We have a nurse that comes on. She talks about like health issues and rehab, especially today. Like rehab isn't just like dudes with needles. It's like people taking prescription pills and having issues and stuff, right? It's like it's real stuff. It's not just like the lowest common denominators of society that are like struggling with addiction. It's like everyone all across the board, right? So we try to like give people a break. He and I try to have fun with stuff. We do giveaways, try to like, try to let people have a break. But we also have those little nuggets, right? Those little nuggets every week.
Awesome, man.
And so another thing is I'm moving towards game streaming, and which is another reason why I wanted to do this more. Well, Mike actually made the idea of me getting on camera more because I'm gonna start doing like gaming streaming. And I know like Jeremiah and Kenny Bell and all them.
Heck yeah.
They do the
Twitch
gaming streaming.
Okay, yeah.
And so that's what I want to do. I want to do the same thing because it's an easy way to reach folks. It's an easy way to, if you got a business or a brand, it's an easy way to get it out there through the gaming community, because the gaming community is loyal. I'm talking, these are like the most loyal people on the planet. Like they don't,
really?
I'm telling you, online, bro, the gaming community is loyal. They come in every day, they watch their favorite streamer play, and they sit there, they donate money, they donate to the cause he raised. They're loyal, bro. So it's like I want to, be able to be a part of that and, help people grow their business, help me grow my business, and just have another fan base. I don't really have a huge football fan base because I didn't really advertise myself when I played. Me, I was straight football, and I was just focused on that. I never took the time to do the extra stuff to brand myself. So this would be another way for me to try to get myself back out there, branding wise. You know, and you know I like to play. I can play video games all day.
Bro,
Give me some
you know,
Ritalin.
always on that, bro. Always on that, dog. Always on the damn game in the room.
Hey, can you tell them I was the coldest in Madden my freshman year? People used to come to the dorms, bro, and get smacked and be leaving crying. Dejon Gomes was the main one.
I remember. I think I stopped in there for a little bit too.
You don't understand, bro. I used to sit on the game from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. As soon as we got out of practice, I'm back home. Bro, we're not even gonna go into this. It was nice talking to you. I know you got stuff to do, brother. Dog. We'll talk to you more about
y'all, man. Yeah, keep me posted on everything, bro. And I'll send y'all, shoot me an address, and I'll send y'all something too out there.
Cool, man.
We appreciate you, man.
Much love, brother, man.
Yeah, man. Love, man. Love you, E. Love y'all, boys, man. Y'all have a good one.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right, man.
Brandon's awesome. So the last time that Brandon,
me sweating. These lights is killing me.
The last time that Brandon had actually come on was an amazing episode. Thankfully, we had actually recorded part of it because the stream back then, this was like show 3 or 4, the stream stopped. Mm-hmm. And people thought we only had like an hour and a half show. That day we had like a 2-hour and 45-minute show because you were talking with him.
Yeah, you see when we talk, we get really into it, even if it's about nothing.
So that was amazing. I'm glad that we had gotten to have him come back on the show, because he's great, and obviously everyone loves the guy.
Man, I tell y'all, his voice is addicting, right? Y'all hear him and it just like kind of draw you into what he's saying. That's why I like talking to him, man. It's good to just hear what he got to say. He always thinking logic. Let me tell you, in college he wasn't like that though. He had that same voice, but he was a little bit different.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, let me tell you, my mans, I love Brandon, but let me just say, Brandon in college, he was the leader. He was the leader of us football players. We did whatever that man said. If we was going to a party, we all showing up.
So, by the way, somehow today we actually started sort of almost on time. It wasn't super late. We're really appreciative because every day
we left Andrew. My man's was like, "Yo, never coming on this show again."
Andrew's like, "I've never heard of you guys, and I can't believe that I've been sitting in this fucking Zoom room waiting for some reason for these guys."
What's up,
we got
Andrew,
nothing but time.
How you doing?
Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you great. I'm gonna adjust your audio just to hear, but we can totally hear you great. How are you? How you doing this morning, Andrew?
Good, man. Nothing but time out here on the West Coast. So had to wake up a little earlier than I'm used to, but no big deal. I'm kind of a late riser nowadays with the whole quarantine thing. My timelines are all off, and I never know what day it is.
And are you out in Vegas these days?
Yeah, I live in Vegas now. I originally was in Denver doing my thing and going all across the U.S., budtending everywhere. And I kind of settled in Vegas due to us being the hospitality capital. And this was all pre-pandemic, right? So I worked on a lot of the lounge legislation out here and was pushing that forward. And that kind of got sidetracked until 2021. And then this whole thing happened. So everything's kind of just pushed back and we're waiting to see what's going on. But I've been learning a lot, making a lot of really good connections. And I've actually formed a whole nother side branch of a company out here with people that I've met.
Yeah, very cool. And actually, I think I also just heard that that you're part of a licensed, a proposed license operation out in Chicago that looks like it's just finally got some traction. Did I see that correctly?
Yeah, man. As time has kind of gone forward, I've expanded into a few different realms, right? Started out just budtending at parties on, small parties in Denver and have worked my way up to working with celebrities. And we just had an episode release on Monday for Vice, Most Expensivest with 2 Chainz. I got to show him a couple devices and our most expensive service we had in Vegas when things were normal and will continue to be once things normalize. But we just got done, worked on some applications in Illinois for dispensing, infuser, and transporter licenses out there. We've submitted about 25 applications in total with the ownership group we're working with there. So
That's amazing.
Trying to kind of expand the footprint and take my knowledge in new places. I'm the kind of guy that likes to just learn everything and do what I can.
Yeah. So Eric, so what he's talking about with his bud tending thing, he would bring around this like very high end booth. He would bring it to your event, and he would literally bud tend for your audience with like really high end stuff. And so I actually saw Andrew like 2 years ago posted, because he was doing this and it was like getting some traction, and he posted online like, wouldn't it be great if 2 Chainz and his show like wanted to check out my bud tending thing? And then literally the other day the episode finally appeared where he, and I guess, that's one of those things like manifesting, right? Like, you put it out there and then all of a sudden, it happens, right?
That's tight. You got 2 Chainz.
Yeah, man. Like I'm a very matter of fact person, and I'm very logic driven. So I usually don't like buy into the whole manifesting voodoo type of stuff, right? And I'll get attacked by a lot of my hippie friends for saying this, but I typically don't buy into it, But there are some things, like there's a feeling, and when you put it out enough and try enough, I think that can bring things around. And I think I might be changing my mind on things now. Like you're saying, you saw that with the whole 2 years ago, man, I was saying I wanted to have the most expensive bud tending service and be on his show, right? And it happened. And it took about a year for the episode to air, man. We shot that. It cost me quite a bit of money to get everything around, get all the people around and who I wanted involved. And the process was actually pretty cool to do, and I never really had a TV spot like that. So I'm a really nervous person when it comes to stuff like that, man. And it was a crazy experience, and it's getting me used to being in the spotlight like that, which I'm not normally used to, man. I'm a super private person typically, but when you're serving people and you're the face of a company and you have to be in front all the time, like you just have to get used to it and push through it, because I've struggled with really bad anxiety all of my life. And that's what I used cannabis for originally. That's what got me into the industry. So, overcoming that, using cannabis and having that help me can, I think, teach a lot of folks a lesson. Don't be scared and move forward with it. Even if you feel those feelings of fear, just keep moving forward.
Yeah, well, I think sometimes I'm the same way. Like when I'm out in public, I prefer to sort of, it's not that I'm quiet, but I'm not like the life of the party out in public, and yet here I am doing a 2-hour show every day. Yeah. Eric just noticed that his iPad.
No, you guys want to see how strong I am? I grabbed my iPad.
Wait, you grabbed it and it did that?
I grabbed it and it literally cracked every part of the screen.
He just shattered his iPad screen by grabbing it.
I just literally grabbed it with my fingertips, and the whole screen is shattered now.
He's showing the other camera that people actually see, not the.
Yeah.
He actually just picked up his iPad and it just shattered. That's odd. That's very weird.
Need to figure out what strain you're consuming and go after that next time I hit the gym.
He's a exactly. So Eric has always been a big sativa fan, and he uses it for like workouts and stuff. But he also used cannabis.
Adderall.
Yeah, he also used
I'm an
cannabis.
ADHD patient. So.
He had also used cannabis to recover from major concussive symptoms when he was retiring from the NFL. So like he uses it like medicinally in a number of ways. And just before you came on, he had one of his former teammates from University of Nebraska that he had played with, but he's had football players on, and they have conversations about cannabis use in the NFL and how it happens all the time. They all know when they're going to get tested, so they can usually plan on taking a little break, but how they're all using it, and even him, he would smoke before he would go to a game, and he would take a sativa, and that would really get him hyped up, and it's just really, these days, isn't it so awesome that 5-10 years ago, even, the education and the normalization wasn't happening, and the normal conversations around this stuff just weren't happening, and so people just thought of cannabis as like a recreational thing that that you kept hidden from folks, right? And so now these days it's amazing. Folks are out there, even as sort of individual brands or individual people and small business, and just going out and able to do big things because we've finally gotten to a place where it's no longer has to stay hidden in the shadows, right?
Yeah, I think it's crazy to even think. I grew up in Ohio, and I moved to Colorado originally as a medical patient to find relief for my anxiety. But I was finding so many different varieties that street dealers were selling me that weren't doing what I needed it to do. And I remember back in like, what was it, 2014 in Colorado, 2013 in Colorado, I was going to medical dispensaries looking for high CBD cultivars, and people really weren't into CBD back then. It was kind of seen as like the weak weed, and it didn't get you as high as, because everybody was chasing high THC back then. CBD really wasn't a thing. It wasn't being sold on, MLMs on Facebook, and there wasn't groups for CBD back then. So I got my first footing. I actually have some YouTube footage from when I was doing CBD strain reviews, and it was just like Charlotte's Web when I could get a hold of it, and Harlequin, and a lot of one-to-ones. And seeing the change now from then, when I was buying it either illicitly back home or when I couldn't find what I needed in Colorado, we're so blessed to be in a place to be able to pick what we want to consume and be able to walk into a store and get educated properly and on a consistent basis get exactly what we need. And I find it strange, like when I fly back home, I can't have the same things I have, and I feel like I'm in the Stone Age, right? And there's people in these states that are still locked up in prison for the same thing that I'm doing 1,000 miles away, 500 miles away, 2 miles away. I mean, you can cross one state border and be put in jail for the same thing you're doing, where you're at now, if you're in a legal place. And it sucks. And I try to bring a lot of attention to that when I can, because what we have is just an injustice across the board.
It is, and it's interesting too, because for a lot of states, their idea of sort of reparations for folks being negatively impacted by the war on drugs is to let them out and then expunge their record. And it's interesting because here in Massachusetts, we've had a movement for expungement, and while it's important, there are folks that are like, hey, yeah, for like I was in prison and now I'm out, and for X number of years I've been struggling with life. It's tough to find a job. It's tough to find residences. And then they're like, and so now somebody wants to sort of erase that. And while that's great, it still doesn't help those people, like when they're going out to get a job, to explain a 20-year gap in their work history, right? And so it's just interesting because, yes, like they should no longer be hampered like officially by society because of that, of what had happened to them previously, of getting arrested or jailed for cannabis. But in a lot of cases, even here in Massachusetts, we're trying to do economic empowerment prioritization and social equity prioritization for licensed businesses or folks that want to get their licenses, and that they were negatively impacted upon the war on drugs. And often in social equity side and the economic empowerment side, it's that these cannabis businesses are supposed to give back extra to the communities that were within Massachusetts that were most affected by the war on drugs. And we've, even though Massachusetts was like coming out swinging, like we're going to set the example for all of these other states that are in the process now, it's been a long and difficult process. There's barely any economic empowerment applicants who are actually functioning as a business right now. And I believe, and I'm probably wrong with this, I believe there's only one minority-owned economic empowerment business in Massachusetts right now, out of like the 10 that have actually managed to get going. And so it's just interesting because no matter what, even in Massachusetts, a lot of the stuff that we've done really, and I get it, like, we live in a capitalistic society. It's supposed to be that we're all having some level of opportunity for capitalism and to try to build a business and generate wealth and stuff. But, the numbers, it just sort of, we're still struggling, I think, at the idea of giving opportunities for, and I'm saying this as a white dude. I'll say this, I'll just speak for myself. Like it's a lot easier for me as a white dude to figure out how to get into business than your average, person of color for a lot of reasons, right? And the numbers aren't lying, especially here in Massachusetts. There's just not very many minority-owned businesses or even folks with equity. And so it's just interesting because it makes sense that we have a passion that, like, hey, the people who are still in jail for this, it makes no sense, especially the people who are still in jail. Like, that's outrageous that there are people making millions of dollars off of it and we still have people in jail for it. But I'm also personally just a big proponent of, like, like not paying lip service to these people at a certain point. Like, yes, expunge the records, but that's not enough. And ideally there would be more than like a vague promise of minimum wage jobs to some people, in the cannabis industry. And I get it. It's a tough, it's tough. But in Massachusetts, we've made millions of dollars in taxes, and they're still sitting on a lot of that money trying to figure out what good they want to do with that money. And I sincerely hope that they earmark that towards some of the people that were most affected by the war on drugs to actually have legitimate shots at a better life and not just, we're going to like wipe out your record for you. I didn't mean to soliloquy. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good, brother. Were you familiar with how Illinois worked on their social equity?
No, I don't. And in fact, we have a number of people from Ohio in the audience right now, but tell us what it's all about.
So in Illinois, when they were doing their social equity programs, they had it to where it's essentially like 1/5 of the application score. So like out of 1,000 points, it's worth 200 if you met social equity. So basically, if you didn't have social equity, you weren't going to win. And my group specifically, we had some very, very good numbers as far as how our equity breakdowns were. And I was actually a minority in the equity side of the business. I had a very small amount compared to a lot of other actual minorities and women and people of color in the group that I worked with. And it was actually a nice change of pace, right? So I got to see the other side of helping. And with what I was doing on the project, I feel like I brought a lot to the table for people that were from disproportionately impacted regions. So in Illinois, they had it to where you could hire from disproportionately impacted regions, and you had to pay these people prior to even being licensed. So you had to cough up cash as a company to pay folks that are in these disproportionately impacted regions before you even opened up to even have a shot in the application pool, or you had to give 51% ownership to these folks in disproportionately impacted regions. And it wasn't necessarily by race, it was by zip code and how those places were impacted.
Yep.
So it was a cool way of doing it. But then we started to figure out that the big boys that do have a lot of money, all they were doing was going in and setting up, like LLCs in places and getting people that did have electric bills from these disproportionately impacted regions. And they basically just pay 7 out of 10 of them to meet social equity requirements. And then they'll either not hire them when they win the licensing, or, hire them when they do win licensing and move on and be a good company. But like, they added this in halfway through the application process. And to me, like, social equity is about giving people real opportunities with real equity and not just giving them a job. So I found it kind of ridiculous how they went about it. And it seems good on the surface and it's feel good at the moment, right? But it doesn't really do anything long-term to help the situation. So I hope other states can learn from that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And even here in Massachusetts, we've run into stuff that even the requirement around 51% ownership by, let's say, priority applicants to retain ownership of the business, right? There's still companies that are finding creative ways through management contacts, shelving agreements, like lots of
straw man. Yeah, it's just crazy.
And even then, we actually had a few-day period here in Massachusetts where there was a miscommunication that went out by the Cannabis Control Commission here in Massachusetts that indicated that now priority applicants wouldn't have to retain 51%, but could actually go down to as little as 10%. That didn't get clarified for like 5 or 6 days. In the meantime, a number of priority applicants had run out and penned agreements agreeing to take much less than the 51%. I believe they may have run the risk of actually losing their priority status once that had gotten rectified, because it really decimates the intent of the idea of leaving equity for the people that deserve it. And it's, I don't want to. It's something. I'm part of an economic empowerment licensure application here in Massachusetts. We've been doing our thing. COVID COVID put a little bit of a pause on some stuff, and that's okay. But regularly, myself and the folks that I work with, even though we're economic empowerment, like we go out and regularly are fighting for even some of the other marginalized groups in Massachusetts to even have equal priority access that we have. So even though in Massachusetts it was like 139 people got economic empowerment status, and then I think a few hundred got social equity, they opened up a second round to that. But we were out there even trying to fight for vets and farmers and, and even the LG, like even any marginalized group, right? Like really, we were fighting for like ratios, right? Like in here in Massachusetts, they've given out a huge number of licenses. Many of them are big money from out of state. And so we've been fighting for ratios, and it's a really tough road because here in Massachusetts, medical RMDs, so medical dispensaries, it was written into Massachusetts law that they would end up getting equal priority access to EE and SC, so that they could turn rec. And so then we basically had like 3-4 years of medicinal dispensaries that had opened, that the moment that they were allowed to, they were all going to say, hey, great, we want immediate prioritized access to be able to open up a recreational side, which isn't, if I were them, I'd want that too. The problem is that they can, with the money that they've already been making, they can almost immediately turn on that recreational sales side, while small business people have to scrape and figure out how to not just get through municipal processes, the state process, the investment process, right? And so,
I mean, it's a turnkey model, yeah, right there.
Well, it just becomes difficult because it feels like no matter what opportunities that we're setting up in different states for prioritized access for people who deserve it, right? For people that we've determined deserve it. There's always these loopholes, right? Where it doesn't matter if it's in Ohio with folks figuring out that they can find somebody in a zip code to sit as a part of the license application, and now they're eligible, right? And in Massachusetts, there's, even if you're trying to force folks to retain 51% ownership, there's still management agreements that clearly lots of folks are signing. And so what happens is that the folks that are out there that are like, I really believe in this opportunity so that I can build generational wealth for me, my family, and for some of the other people that have been affected by all of this, they're now competing against similar folks that are like, hey, I'm just willing to take whatever I can get. And if somebody comes to me with an agreement that looks like I retain 51%, but instead I'm really retaining 8% after management and license agreements, like that's fine, at least I get something. And it just sort of like submarines the whole idea of what this was supposed to be, because they're not actually building the same generational wealth that they should be building if they retained the equity that they were intended to keep.
Exactly.
I didn't mean to soapbox. I'm
it's
sorry.
a damn shame, but I'm trying to change it as much as I can. Oh, you're good, brother. It's something that needs to be discussed and talked about, and moving forward, we hope that these things can change, but without a voice, nobody's going to know about it to do anything. And the process for applying for these licenses in general is usually so arduous and convoluted that, a lot of people either give up midway through. Like when we were turning in our dispensing applications, there was like 4,000 or 5,000 people in an auditorium waiting, and you could just tell that they're not coming from a position of wealth. And they made it clear when I was talking to them, like, we scraped around the last of our savings to get the $5,000 to apply for this. And I felt terrible because it's like, on one hand, I'm glad they have the opportunity to do so, but they're blowing their savings going up against like the Crescos and the multi-state operators that aren't going to lose. And it sucks knowing that. And it's difficult to tell folks that, but people want to have hope for this because cannabis has brought so much joy to their life otherwise, and they see the opportunity. But it's wild. You know, the legislative side, I didn't really ever start wanting to get into, and I found out that like that's really the only way forward if you want to get deep into this and actually make a change.
Mm-hmm. Andrew, and forgive me for asking this so late into the interview. How do I correctly pronounce your last name?
Mieure is the best way to say it, I think. My family says it like 4 different ways, but Mieure is usually how I go. Think of it as Mewer.
Got it, Mieure. Okay,
Yeah,
excellent. I think I was adding a
lot of
little
vowels in
French on
that
the
one.
end there when I was originally saying
Yeah,
it.
right.
That was probably not right.
There's a lot of vowels there, so I understand. No big deal.
Well, with my last name is Doobie, which is pronounced Dubé, but you know, my entire life everyone said Doobie, and finally I'm sort of in the cannabis industry, so now
I was
everyone
gonna
thinks
say
it's
that was a blessing. I thought it was like a pen name you came up with.
yeah, everyone thinks it's my fake cannabis club name, like so this way, you know, I don't have to give you my real name, you can't like find me later or whatever, but no,
Exactly.
it's actually my real name. Andrew, the first time I saw you in person was actually at, and I'm trying to remember the name of the convention that was in Boston a few months ago.
Was it at the NCIA?
It was, and so
Okay.
you know, just having only known of you virtually, I was your like Facebook friend for a while, but it's not, you know,
Hmm.
you don't know me from a hole in the wall, and so I was like, oh, I saw you at the convention, and I was going to go by and say hi, and you were literally surrounded by like a whole bunch of people. I was like, yep, I'm not. There's no way I'm getting a word in edgewise. I'll figure out some other way to say hi to Andrew someday. But
Yeah, that was before COVID took off. I remember flying and remember flying to Boston, and that was in the middle. We were finishing up our applications, and but I flew to Boston to take the opportunity to speak there, and I remember sitting next to somebody on the plane, and they kept coughing next to me. And COVID wasn't even like a big thing at the moment because it was what, February 20th, I believe.
yep,
And she kept coughing and coughing, coughing, and I was like really scared because I'm paranoid of stuff like that. And on my way home, there was also someone else coughing really crazy, and I don't know if I got it when I got home or not. I don't know what happened, but I felt bad when I got home. So I don't know if I caught something from the convention when I was there. But needless to say, from all that scary stuff that was happening prior, because I take a lot of these pandemic things super serious. I think that our panel that we had was that brought some very actionable items to the folks in Massachusetts, and it was a really nice event to kind of see how Massachusetts is, because I don't really have a huge presence on the East Coast right now, and as things kind of shape up, I know New York's talking about legalization and moving forward. It'll be good to get out there more, and I think that for me, like lounge legislation is what I really look forward to. But right now, man, lounge stuff is really going to get pushed back even further. So in the meantime, I've been working on, you know, like the next generation of what lounges are going to look like in a post-pandemic world. And it's really, it's going to dampen the experience, but I want consumers to know that that experience has to be done for a reason, right? Like just because we're keeping you distanced and only giving you certain consumption options, it's not necessarily to, you know, abide by wherever you stand, like wherever you stand on it. I know there's some people that don't believe the pandemic's a real thing. There's some people that are terrified of it, and every spectrum in between. But we're doing this out of safety for not only you but us as business owners, because if we get sued for something, a device being either defective or somebody getting sick at your establishment, I mean, that's a real threat to the business, and we're already walking on eggshells as it is, right?
mm-hmm.
Like we can't get proper insurance half the time. I mean, I was paying for a policy that was $8,000 a year just for the equivalent of liquor liability insurance, but for cannabis, which is like 3 to 5 times what liquor companies pay, just because of the cannabis tax, right?
Right.
They're going to charge you because it is cannabis, because it is federally illegal, and finding insurance to kind of, you know, help you out and be protected moving forward to be a proper business owner, you know, it's tough. And they wonder why like people are doing this on an illicit market still. And, you know, people are providing pounds of shatter included in their budtending prices for the events. Like they're doing this because we can't make a damn profit off of what we're doing because of the insurance costs being so high. It's still a tough gig right now, and we're looking for ways to improve that and bring notice to insurance companies and the bigger players in the industry. There was also, even like in California, there was a herpes outbreak that one of those clubs had. They were, yeah. So on Yelp, it got posted that somebody had got herpes from a mouthpiece at one of the clubs out there. And I don't know how you could even prove it because that's so common. And B,
Right.
I don't think it even lives on a surface that long. You'd really have to be like sharing super quick, like back to back to back.
Right.
So, but the fact of the matter is their reputation got absolutely destroyed from like a few Yelp comments and people claiming they had it, and then a few pictures of somebody having like a mouth infection. Whether or not it was from the club, the damage was done, and you really have to mitigate everything. And like they were trying to show pictures of their the way that they clean their rigs, and they showed like salt and alcohol in a place where they would just like scrub it, and it's just it wasn't a professional way of responding to that crisis. And we have to have different types of messaging surrounding sanitation, different types of messaging surrounding the service to guests and how we're keeping them safe, because after this is all done, people are still going to have that in the back of their head. What if I could still get COVID from a device? What if I still get COVID from the guy coughing next to me? I think sanitation, and on one side of the coin, like this is the thing I've been preaching for 5 years, that we need sanitation standards all over, from like the government all the way down to operators. And then the other side of the coin too is like, I've been waiting for this for so long. Now people are finally starting to listen, thankfully.
Yeah,
so,
a few months.
In one way, the pandemic's awful for what we're doing, and then in another way, it's like great because it is cutting off a ton of my business. Like we've been struggling to get clients the past couple months, like a lot of other businesses, right? Like dispensaries and stuff are pretty foolproof because they're deemed essential in a lot of states. But like events and hospitality, man, we're taking a huge.
Yep.
Las Vegas went from having the best unemployment rate to the worst unemployment rate they've had in years, and it's tough.
Wow. Yeah, a few months before COVID hit, I was out at an event and I won a little raffle, and they gave me one of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, honestly, we were all like making fun of it because I was like, "Yeah, what am I
going to?" Mouthpiece?
I was like, "What am I gonna go to an event and you're gonna like pass me something? I'm gonna be like, hold on, you're dirty. You might be dirty. Let me put it in this thing to protect myself." I'm like, that just sort of destroys the sort of social feel. But now it just seems like the most brilliant thing ever. A few months later,
We did a white paper study with Moose Labs, which is who makes those mouthpieces, those essentially bong condoms.
Yep.
We discussed with them the need for definitive studies to be able to bring to city and state governments going forward before even COVID happened. And they did a bacterial study testing the bacterial load on pipes. And what they were finding out was, just using rubbing alcohol, which is something I had been doing for a long time, it actually did not kill all the bacterial load in the amount of time, because you need about 30 to 45 seconds of it sitting on the surface to actually dry out and kill all the bacteria on those pipes. So they did a test where they had pipes that were not cleaned at all, pipes that were cleaned with one run of alcohol, and then pipes that were just like basically wiped off with like a shirt.
Okay.
And the pipes that weren't cleaned at all through the process, they were harboring bacteria that was as frequent as, say, a toilet seat or a doorknob, keyboards, because they tested the bacterial load on a lot of different items. And I mean, you're putting your mouth on these places, and yes, there is bacteria everywhere, and we can't get rid of it. I understand that, but if you can avoid it, like, you should be consuming out of a device that does not have the same bacterial load as like the bottom of a dumpster or a toilet seat. There's really no excuse for that. And we're just trying to find out the best ways for sanitation to get it done in a quick and efficient manner. And it's been a nonstop priority of ours to do so. So it's pretty crazy finally digging into the data and looking at it, because you don't think about it, right? Our culture has always been puff puff pass, and always be a culture of sharing. And we're seeing everything from like labs lying about the amount of pesticides and chemicals in certain products, lying about the cannabinoid content, all the way down to like with what I'm doing, right? Folks not cleaning devices, not having sanitary practices, not changing their gloves on time when they need to. There's a lot of stuff that we're not doing as a collective unit, as business owners, that should be done. And we really need to look forward into that. And I think COVID's kind of brought a lot of it to light. My worry is we're going to do it as a feel good thing for a while and then back off as the restrictions ease. Because I mean, people are already getting crazy at 2 months, right? They've been locked up for 2 months and they're already going out to beaches and hanging out with people and breaking that social bubble. And I try to say to people, just because, you know, you're bored, it doesn't mean that the virus is done yet. Like, we still have 100,000 deaths and counting. And I don't want to be the one responsible for getting somebody sick. And we really need to look forward to that in the hospitality side of what we do. And cannabis hospitality, with being as new as it is, you know, a couple lounges open and they have hotspot outbreaks. That could be the end for what we do for a while. And I really can't afford to push this whole thing back another 5 years.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's interesting. I know a lot of, we've done some interviews with folks that plan large events, cannabis events, and you know, a few of them have been very transparent that they're like, you know, I don't think it's ever going to be the same again. And I think part of it too is, I remember when COVID was sort of, you know, like we were first hearing about it, and some of these events still were wondering if they were going to cancel or postpone or whatnot. And at least what I had found out was that despite any amount of insurance that you take out, if you plan an event knowing that that there's elements of it that could put people at risk, but you're still planning it anyway, that the insurance doesn't matter. Like if you're knowingly doing that, which then puts every venue and the event planners on the hook outside of any insurance protection that you might have. So it really kind of, for a lot of people, it just terrified them to throw any sort of event right now, you know? So.
Yeah, I'm really afraid of like kind of what things look like, right? Not only because it's my main source of income, but the culture and the steps that we've made moving forward, and having the conversation just be even in the media constantly. Like, I hadn't really posted much on social media for the last month and a half, 2 months, because the attention wasn't there for me, right? Like, I don't want to sit here and post about sanitary practices when 500 other companies are sending you an email saying, you know, starting on with, in these trying times. It's just, I don't know. I kind of got overwhelmed with, you know, everything on social, constantly dealing with COVID and talking about COVID. And it got to the point where it was overwhelming. And I think people weren't willing to kind of cut through the noise to listen to what you were saying, because there was so much of it. So I've been kind of waiting to deploy my techniques and what we're talking about, our PDFs that we're working on to get this information out to the public. It's coming. It's just, I didn't think right when the news media was covering all of this and scaring everyone, it was the right time to do it. So even like messaging and communication right now is so much different than what it was pre-COVID. We just, we can't do the things that we used to. And as much as I want to be like super optimistic about things going back to normal anytime soon, I don't know. But I mean, we've seen this in the past too. I mean, there's been flus and crazy outbreaks in the 50s and 60s. Even Woodstock went through, they were in the middle of technically a pandemic, which was the Hong Kong flu. And people still went to Woodstock and did their thing. And a lot of those folks are still alive to this day. And when it comes down to it, the number of people that have it, yeah, it's low in the grand scheme of things, but it's preventable. And as business owners, we are held liable. Like you're saying, insurance, man, that's going to be a tough road forward. And a lot of these bigger companies wanting to move forward, like, we've got caps on how many people could congregate. So do we move forward? Like my big issue right now is like, since the state is easing restrictions in Nevada, we're moving to like our phase 2 restrictions to where casinos are going to open and people are going to be coming back and traveling. Like, yeah, Nevada's been doing good with our COVID numbers, but what's going to happen when people from New York come out here and bring COVID from their hotspots that haven't been doing so well, and then our workers get sick? What are we going to do moving forward? It's there's a lot of unknowns, and it's frankly scary. And I think my sentiments definitely shared by a lot of other business owners, where we just don't know. There's a lot of experts that are going to say we see the roadmap forward, but it's really kind of just like holding a candle out in front of you, and navigating that way, especially with what we're doing on these kind of new and cutting edge businesses. Like, do I host events with 10 or less people? Do I host events with 50 or less people per CDC or state guidelines? Is it safe to host an event with 10 or less people? Is it going to then backfire on me with responsibility? Even if I have waivers signed, are people still going to sue me and say that, oh, Top Shelf Budtending brought COVID to my house when he did a private event for my 50th birthday party? Like, that's the things I'm thinking about. Like, at the same time, I don't want to say no to the capital to keep my business operating, but I don't want a situation of where I put anybody at risk, including my employees or anyone that I'm serving. So it's a very kind of like, I don't know, it's a conflicted situation, and I just don't know where to go from here. And I hate admitting that on a live stream, but it's a very difficult spot.
Well, I almost feel like it's just like every other, legal cannabis business, which is like the moment you open your doors, it's all about compliance. And it's that constant struggle between having like an amazing brand with the best product, but also staying in compliance so that you can stay in business and function, right? And so I always attribute that everyone's like complains about so much mids out of the dispensaries, and I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. It's like it's a compliance business. So suddenly it's like they want to make sure they're keeping their doors open, and that doesn't always lend itself well to like growing the best fire that you can possibly grow. Anyway.
Yeah, and I think people also have the misconception that like there's room on the shelf for Keystone, and then there's room on the shelf for high-end liquor, right? Some people just want to get high. They don't give a damn about what it tastes like, what it smells like, what it looks like. Will it get them high? Yes or no? And does it smoke well? Yes or no? That's what they care about. So like with our services, right, we're always trying to bring the best products to the consumer and what they have within their budget, which we try to stick towards the high end of that. We try to capture more of a high end experience along the lines of, say, a cannabis sommelier, and keep it like that. And yeah, when we like to have our events, we don't like to have mids around, but at the same time, like, you know what? If a client has a specific varietal they like from a specific company, and to us it's mids, that's our damn opinion. And if a client likes it, the client's right then in that case. And really just kind of exploring those new options, whether it be lower end or higher end, I think is important for the consumer. And sometimes, especially now, man, these value brands, they're crushing it. When people don't have a lot of money and the economy's not so good, you can talk as much crap about mids as you want, but they are flying off the shelves and going into.
Man, I remember back in college,
bowls.
I used to have a Four Locos drink. Four Locos, they only cost like $2, but it was the best.
Yeah, man.
If
it does the trick, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, sometimes that does the trick, and that's what people want. And moving forward, like I said, there's a place on the table for the lower priced brands, the value brands. And sometimes people just want to buy an ounce of popcorn bud and value brand, and if it breaks up in the bowl the same and smokes well, they don't really care. And there's a place for that.
If you don't smoke a lot, then lower end will hit you just as good as higher end.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and it's really like at the end of the day, it's like you were saying earlier, there's a lot of people that go out shopping just based on THC content. They're just looking for the highest THC that they can get. the reality of it is that it's the terpenes that like affect how you feel and what that experience is like. And that's really in the long run is more important than the actual THC levels alone, right? And Andrew, I have no idea what it is. Maybe someday you'll be able to help me out with this. There's a certain terpene that to me makes stuff taste like beef. There are literally things that I will smoke that I'm like, this tastes savory to me. And I'll be with other people who will all be like, this is amazing. It tastes awesome. And for some reason, the effect that terpene has on me, I'm like, it might get me high, but I'm like, ooh, like it's like beef stroganoff to me, which is just an odd thing to have with when you're smoking something, right? And but it really like, just because I taste that doesn't mean that it doesn't make me feel the way that I want to feel. Like it can still do that. And then there's other strains that like, people hate, and I'm like, wow, I actually really like this. And it's not always about like the wave of sort of like an inebriation wave. It's really like there's more tangible stuff there. And I think that the more that we get access, especially with your budtending service, right? Like when you're actually, and for me, whether it's on the CBD level or the THC level, like it's really about trusting who you get your weed from, right? And it's so that you can trust that consistency, you can trust the cleanliness or the, the environment in which it was, grown and kept in and then given to you. But it's really like, there's a lot of folks out there, especially here in Massachusetts with the industry where it is right now. There's a lot of folks that are watching the show that will say, "Hey, dispensaries are too expensive, and I don't want to go there." And it's really that those people need to understand that like their gray market sources that they get from, they trust, they know those people. You know what I'm saying? Like they know they have a higher level of confidence because they've been around that person for years. That person isn't.
That's the brand that they're used to. That's the brand that they trust. Whether that's a person or not, or whether that's a brand entity that's branded with beautiful branding or not, that's still the brand that they trust.
Right. And I think that's sort of there's a reason why even here in Massachusetts the recreational dispensaries, and which will be opening up again. They may have opened up. They're opening up for curbside.
I think they just did. Yeah, curbside only.
But there's a reason why, like in the last year, there are lines that it can be drizzling on a Tuesday morning, and the lines are like out the door and around the corner. And then people in the meantime, there's a lot of us that are like, how could people be willing to spend that much money? There's a reason why people are willing to spend that much money, and it's like the availability, and it's the trust that they feel like they can have with a business that like is physically there. It's always there. There's a neck to choke, right? Like there's an address. You can mail them something, right? And obviously people are willing to pay a premium for that. And just one last thing I'll say is earlier today there's a priority applicant, micro business here in Massachusetts that is in their final stages of opening up. They're a few months away from opening their doors and being able to start to cultivate. They're not doing retail. They're doing cultivation and manufacturing, but they were trying to have a little conversation with sort of the folks in Massachusetts to say, so how much do you think, that we grow good weed? Like we've been growing for years, you've been trying it, like we're about to go legal, we grow great weed. What is it worth? What is an eighth worth on the retail market to you guys for our weed? Is it $40, $60? Is it $80 an eighth if we give you some extra goodies with it or something? And boy, you would not imagine, and not that people were angry, but 99% of the responses were almost kind of like, why would you try to be selling me an eighth of weed for $60 or $80? Like, are you kidding me? And it's just interesting because the audience that he was asking was like the traditional cannabis crowd that is used to, enjoying very nice prices, very nice street prices. And so this guy's asking something that frankly, like for good high quality weed, he doesn't even need to ask us. The lines are out the door every day that the place is open, right? Like you can kind of charge what you want recreationally, and right now there's an audience for that. So it's just a very interesting thing because there's a lot of folks out there, and I get it, especially from the medicinal side. There's people like availability, especially for folks that are poor, and how do you get in their hands? How do you make it easy for them to access? But on the retail side, there's just, and even so, there might be some people that are like, oh my gosh, Andrew has a business where like he would charge somebody 20 grand to like come in and do a high end thing. And they're like, to them, that might be unimaginable. But in the meantime, there's a reason why you do that. And you had been successful prior to COVID with that. And it's because there's plenty of people out there who want to pay money to have like a high end product come in with somebody that they can trust, with a brand that they feel comfortable with. And the bottom line is the market is there for that,
When we taped on Vice too, it was a little weird. Like, we explained the services from front to back, and they cut it the way they want it, right, as a TV producer. So there was a lot of things in that episode that they talked about that either A, didn't get seen, or they didn't really explain in the thorough way that they needed to. It's like, the show is most expensivest as well, right? So like, we have a ridiculously overpriced package that most people aren't going to pay for, and to most people would seem overpriced. But you're also getting like the most ridiculous Vegas experience that you're not going to get anywhere else. It also includes cannabis. I mean, dude, it comes with like 3 days of a mansion rental, which is a place that I've never seen before in my entire life before moving to Vegas. Lambos that you're riding around in, like it's not a cheap service, and most people aren't going to have the money to pay for that, and that's okay. Like, it's not made for that. It's not that specific business model for those folks, but at the same time, like, we do smaller events too, where it's $100 an hour. We've been doing that for years before we came out with these super high-end packages, and it really just depends on the market that you want to go for. Like, luxury weed as a whole has not been doing super great, right? Like, Candescent out of California, I know their sales haven't been super compared to what they were thinking it was going to be. A lot of these high-end weed stores that only cater to the high end, and Beverly Hills, of these soccer moms, like MedMen even in general, their big thing was like converting the soccer mom. And it's like, dude, the soccer moms buy an eighth every 6 months.
Right.
They're not the major ones consuming your weed. So like, making the experience luxury and selling it using other means instead of the high-end products themselves, I think like that's the move if you're going to do luxury weed. It's the experience and the lifestyle surrounding it. Like, yeah, I'm sure in LV bag, when they are buying them from the same factories in China that other products are made in, their price on those bags isn't $5,000 a piece, right? And people are still going in and buying those, but they're not. You don't ever see Gucci or Louis Vuitton going on sale. They would rather burn their products than have it go on sale. So luxury is a very weird space, and that's kind of like where I wanted to take it, because I liked my presentation originally. Obviously, I'm not somebody to disparage folks that can't purchase that. There's stuff in, like, I've seen on the show, man, they had like $100,000 bottle of water. I'm like, are you kidding me? Come on. So I get when people are upset about my services being really expensive, but it's not necessarily made for them or that. And I'll tell you what, if you look at any of the comments section on any of those videos, they just go in on me and slaughter me. Like, they're like, this is the kid that's been selling your high school kids oregano for all the years. And, they don't take the time to understand me and who I am. Like, I'm not here to rip anybody off, and I will give you a damn good experience. And I feel like I'm one of the leaders in my space in doing so. And, if you want to afford that experience, you can. If not, man, we've got people, and I've got other companies that can help you out. I've got services that can help you out. And like you were saying with the terpenes, man, we do trainings even in dispensaries on explaining things to folks. Mm-hmm. So we'll take you through your full olfactory adventure. So kind of as a sideline, I was meaning to say this to you when you were talking about terpenes. So when I discuss terpenes to folks when we're selling products in a dispensary, I like to take them through what I call an olfactory adventure, which bridges the gap between what they're smelling as a terpene because let's face it, a lot of consumers don't really give a shit about the science at all behind cannabis. They don't care how terpenes work and modulate this or that, or the blood-brain barrier. They don't care about any of this stuff. They care about how it's going to make them feel and the experience that it brings. So let's say I'm handing them something that is more citrus-based, like a Tangy Diesel, and you're getting both of those notes off of it, right? So when they're smelling it, I hand them the jar, they smell it, they're starting to smell the cannabis. They're like, oh, that's cool. You know, I've never really smelled those notes before. I smell it again, and then I hand it back to them, which is weird to even think about with COVID right now, right? But they smell it, and I go, that smells, you know, you get those tangerine notes, you get a little bit of the diesel notes coming out of it. They kind of agree, and then you go, give it another smell. To me, I think it smells like if you were peeling a tangerine at a truck stop, and then people just lose their mind, right? You give them something that, you know, you smell the base notes, those base smells that you're smelling out of it, those terpenes that are causing that. And then you explain to them something that they're already used to, something that they can use their mind to go back to. Like you were saying, beef stroganoff. I was like, damn, that's it. I know exactly what that smells like. So in my mind, I could smell what that weed smells like in my nose and in my mind before you even give that actual strain to me. So it's like planting a lot of those seeds before people even smell it, to kind of give them suggestions and guide them along to really appreciate what those notes are in cannabis. That's one of my favorite things, man. We would worked with the Trichome Institute, and those guys are like the leaders of cannabis sommelier science and how that works with all of the nerves in your nose and how your brain works to kind of perceive these notes. And we would do thousands of samples of cannabis with just smelling exercises and describing that. And one of them came, somebody was claiming that it smelled like an elephant pen at the zoo. So it was described as like pachyderm is how it was described. So it smelled like elephant poop. It's just, it's crazy the descriptions people start giving when they start looking into it almost like as a wine instead of just something that you smoke without any other thought.
Yeah, it is, and I think also I just think it's smart to sort of associate the smell with sort of like a visceral, you know, some, whether it's a childhood, just a fond memory, you know, or just even something that, you know, like when we think about
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's sort of like if you tell somebody, like, you know, think about fresh cut grass, right? And they don't just think about the smell of grass. They think about that time that they were someplace, probably like enjoying something, doing something, and then they smelled the grass, right? Like, so it's a, you know, but it's not just like a marketing trick. It's really like
conversations.
it's not a marketing trick though, because
Starters.
it's really
Exactly.
about like helping to handhold the person to the right place within the experience that you're trying to craft them, right?
I mean, there was with that being a branding tool, like names are fine. Like Cookies, those guys are masters at branding. Like if you call those mids or not, Cookies, Brand, Burner, those guys are doing crazy things with how they brand their names, their packaging, those scents. Like they are masters of branding, and they're doing a damn good job at it. But I had a guest come back all the time, and they were looking for a specific varietal, and I did my olfactory adventure with them, and we found out there was one strain that smelled, and I thought it smelled like a brand new pool toy. When you pull a pool toy out before you blow it up, that kind of like sweet rubbery note you get.
Yep.
I had that smell, and every time he came in, he's like, I want that pool toy smell. I need that pool toy. That's what works for me. It's the best. And I was like, all right, so anything to him that smelled like that synthetic rubber pool toy, which a lot of those diesel notes give off, he was all about it. So even just like creating your own micro brands based on the strains that you're smelling with your nose can really help your guests kind of decide what they want and what they can enjoy. And when you help them discover something new or that new smell, they get really excited. And man, scent from cannabis and all the different smells that come off of cannabis, that is my favorite thing about it. Like beyond smoking it, beyond consuming, like I even like smelling weed. If you could give me just like hundreds of weed samples to smell all day, I'd rather smell them than smoke them. I love explaining the scent, writing it down, and kind of digging in and seeing what these plants produce scent wise, because that to me that's the branding indicator and the excitement and the thing that gets people talking between one another. Like, being high is a very subjective thing, right? But scent, you can get so close between what one person smells and another person smells, to the point where you can discuss these things properly and in a meaningful, impactful, and exciting manner that gets people together and enjoying it. And that's the stuff I get excited about. That's why I'm in hospitality. I want people to get excited about smelling weed.
Andrew, I really appreciate you spending so much time with us today. Is there a way, what's the best way for folks to keep up with you and what you're doing? Where do you want people to go to follow you?
Well, right now on Instagram at Top Shelf Budtending, we're making a big push to get to 5,000 and 10,000 followers. I still have not been pushing that platform enough, so it'll be a huge help if you go check us out there. We have a tons of tips, tricks, videos of the events that we're doing. We're going to be launching a lot of new COVID prevention and very meaningful information going forward to that. We also have our website, topshelfbudtending.com. And then if you have Hulu or Sling TV, Viceland, I believe it's episode 13. It's called Tony Retreat. I was just on Viceland. You can check our services out there to see that a little more in depth and hang out with 2 Chainz and I on that. Also, anytime you want to get a hold of us, I have my email, andrew@topshelfbudtending.com, and my phone number is listed on the site as well. I'm an open book, and basically find me at any event once those start opening back up.
Awesome. And at some point when you have time, I want to follow up with you off camera. I had a TV show in development that got put on hold, a cannabis TV show that got put on hold, and it might be up your alley a little bit. So I'll check in with you after.
Heck yeah! Thank you so much for having me, man. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about what I love.
Yeah, no, and thank you for being so patient that we were running a little bit late, and thanks for just sharing. It's really cool because we try to have a lot of cannabis guests on, and so but it's tough to find people who are doing like really cool stuff in certain niches. So it was just amazing to sort of hear sort of like a different side to the cannabis business, especially for somebody that we are fairly East Coast centric. A lot of our audience is central, I'm about to say Central America, but Middle America and East Coast. So it's really cool for us to sort of hear stories and talk to folks that are out in the West Coast. And also, thank you for picking such an amazing spot to sit in today, because the blinds with the light and stuff is awesome. It's like a perfect background. You should use it all the time.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And just to all the folks out there that are trying to get into the industry, one last thing. This whole event-based bud tending thing where you go around and serve cannabis to people, if you do it the right way, I have done this on a bootstrap budget with no investors. I own my company 100% outright. It's a good way to be your own boss. So I know a lot of this is kind of coming up on the East Coast, and I don't have a huge presence out there, so I'm not going to be a huge competition. But we do also offer consulting services and things like that to get you started. And it's a very, very good way of getting into the cannabis industry and getting your footing with minimal amounts of capital, which is huge right now. You don't need $1 million to get started like you would with, say, a dispensary or a grow or something. So these little ancillary businesses that you don't normally think of that, are just like little niches like this, it's a good way to get into the industry if you're not already in it now.
Well, and Andrew, well, I have a few folks to connect you with that, because here in Massachusetts, EE and SE priority applicants are going to get a 2-year head start on both delivery businesses for retail and social consumption businesses here in Massachusetts. So there's definitely some folks that would, love to. Yeah.
We just started a whole new hospitality wing of, it's called Cannect Hospitality here in Vegas, with a lot of the folks that opened up a ton of the stuff on the Las Vegas Strip. And I'm proud to get that going. So we do full concepting from beginning to end to get your social consumption establishments up and running, from food programs all the way down to sanitation programs, all the equipment. We're getting a showroom right now to show everybody what sanitation equipment is proper for cannabis establishments, and that's going to be opening up in Vegas by the end of the year. So
Very
got a
cool.
lot of really cool stuff coming out, but I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, Andrew, thank you so much, and we hope to have you back on whenever you like.
Thanks, Andrew.
Of
man.
course. Thanks so much, guys.
We'll talk
Nice
to you
meeting
soon.
you.
Be safe.
Take care.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Well, thanks.
I'm sure he probably don't, Nick. We ain't need to ask him.
Yeah, Nick.
I can tell he's just not a Wu-Tang fan. You can kind of get that energy from
And Nick, I was about to ask him, but he wanted some last things that he wanted to get out. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that the guy...
We could flip a coin and guess, and then we ask him again.
My guess is yes, actually. My guess is yes.
I don't think you do.
Well, not regularly, but he has listened to them. The only guest that has ever said, like, no was Mieure Clifton. Dr. Mieure Clifton.
Miss Mary.
We sure hope she's watching right now.
Miss Mary, I need a checkup. I need the stethoscope treatment. What's up, my dog JT?
I do have a coin, so we're going to flip a coin now. Nick, what do you want? Heads or tails that he listens to Wu-Tang?
Heads. Tails never fails. Tails.
Tails.
Like I said, tails never fails.
Nope. Sorry. He doesn't listen to Wu-Tang.
At all.
So I got to check with Heather. I wonder if anyone won today's contest. Heather. Heather's already typing.
Dr. Eric, you Fruit Loop. What does that mean?
Sheila, I didn't have any breakfast or caffeine yet today, so I'm like,
what does that mean?
what? Wrong kind of doctor, Eric, you Fruit Loop? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, Fruit Loop's just sort of a term of endearment thing, but wrong kind of doctor.
Nah, you know what a Fruit Loop is.
Well, it's a cereal. Look, just because people...
I'm just saying, that's what popped in my head. I'm gonna be real.
Oh, all right, so you want to announce today's winner?
Oh, yeah. You know it already. Ooh, girl, I hope you in the comments, Steve.
Oh, imagine if she's not in the comments.
I'm gonna be so heartbroken.
I don't think she is.
I
I
don't
have a
think she
feeling.
is
I have a
either.
feeling. So Heather, get ready to tell us who the second
The winner
place.
is
Get ready to tell us the second place.
my comment girlfriend, Amanda Joseph. Girl, I hope you still watching, cause you won.
You know what? If she's not here,
Eric, you are fruity. I am fruity. I'm sweet as all can be. Full of sugar and seeds. Amanda Joseph, you are the winner. You need to report to the front of the comments. Otherwise, you ain't gonna win. But you can win in other ways. As in, if I was to get somebody else's gift and give it to you.
So Amanda Joseph's not here. Maybe we just don't. The number was 10, Laura Lee. The number was 10.
Amanda.
And Heather Marie is going to try to find the next closest number, but I don't. That
You
doesn't make.
need
It's
to
been too many comments
log
today. I don't think that's.
in.
I don't think that's going to be realistic for Heather Marie.
Y'all need
Usually
to
we have to, like,
tag
end
her
the-
and get her in. Otherwise, she ain't gonna win.
Where are you, Amanda? So yeah, Kirsty, the number was 10.
That was her favorite number, 10. It's a good number.
Yeah, it's not bad, huh?
I wouldn't have guessed it. I want what he's smoking. You want what who's smoking? Me?
Me, they were saying, why do I look so tired? It's because I don't have breakfast or coffee, because I don't have a breakfast sponsor. Still waiting for some breakfast. Yeah, no, Amanda Joseph, and if she... All right, we'll just say she gets the prize. I'm sure you're... I'm sure.
I just shot her a message. I'm trying to help her out. But no, it's cool.
No,
I'll take it. Send it to me.
No, Kirsty, Tanya automatically gets one. Tanya won automatically today for being Tanya.
Yeah, send it to Tanya. Well, she gets one all the time, Christy. Mind your business.
No, Tanya's going to get one, and then so is Amanda.
Yeah, look, hey, LQ, we already said it. We sending one her. So mind your business.
No, you're both right. Tanya gets one. No, Tanya gets one.
Be real. Mind
and Amanda
your
gets
business.
one.
Just say that.
Tanya gets one. Amanda gets one.
Listen.
Amanda gets one. Tanya gets one.
If you ain't win, mind your business. The gift goes to whoever we send it to. All right? You too, Sheila. Mind your business. Who else got something to say? Because I can send mind your business all day. I can send them all day. I can send whoever needs to mind your business. I can send them all day. Nah, but I do love y'all. I'm just messing with y'all, but y'all do need to mind your business. But I'm just messing with y'all. I was placing a dispensary order. We don't want to hear that, Amanda. You're late.
Amanda, you won.
I was placing a dispensary order. I hope you ordered something for me, too. I hope you was sending the...
Yeah, don't worry, Heather Marie. Amanda's back.
You want to place another order, Amanda?
Oh, boy.
I got next door shipping.
Heather Marie, there's actually a place in, I think it's Creator Studio or something like that you can probably see, you can see just the comments. I think it lets you go all the way back too. Someday we'll take a look at it. Yeah, Amanda, you made it back.
Shout out to the winner.
Shout out to Amanda. About to miss my chance for same day pickup.
Oh, you can get same day pickup. This ain't UPS or FedEx.
Dude. Oh boy. Do you want to sing the song? And I'm gonna start.
He already took off his. Off his thing.
I'm gonna start taking. Well, I want to take my tie off.
Man, of course you want to take that tie off. You know it. Watch him take it off. Don't blink now.
Tie tricks. If you blink, you'll miss the tie tricks.
And now that we have made it to the end of the show, Amanda Joseph won, but it's time for us to go. I love the jam, but it's the end of the show. We don't like y'all, so it's time to go. And that's... I can take her play. Hold on. We gotta pause the song. She's talking about what you talk about. You take her play. You show can't. Nah, I'm playing. And that's the end of the show. Peace.